Sega.
Hey, I'm on the edge of my seat here, back again with another brand new stream, and today will be the first part of my Yakuza 4 walkthrough. And this is actually the first Yakuza game I have ever played. Like, I don't know, this is actually the first game I've ever played in the series. This is like the first game I played on the PS3. Like, I borrowed my friend's PS3 just to play some Yakuza 4. I basically downloaded it because it was easier than getting a physical copy. And to this day, I still do not have a physical copy of the original PS3 Yakuza 4. But one day I do want to get it because the cover of that one is like one of my favorite covers of all time. Of the Yakuza series in general. I don't know about all time, but like, it's one of the coolest covers in like the series. Like, nothing beats the original like Yakuza 1 like Japanese cover, but Yakuza 4 is like a strong contender for like top 3 or top 4 in this series. This like American version. Like specifically the American cover. Oh, and before we continue on, I'm going to get my volume controller for my TV. And yes, we are playing on the original PS3. Not sure if I already mentioned that or not. Not sure if anything gives it away. Maybe like the 30 FPS gives it away. It's not as smooth as like the remasters. I had this like crazy video idea where like I would like rank how every single Yakuza game starts. And I didn't really remember how... Oh wait, volume for the game or volume for the mic? Because, like, I mean, I thought I was going crazy, but Yakuza 4 does sound like a little quieter than Yakuza 3. I don't know if, like, this is, like, when if Yakuza 4 came out around the time where games wanted to, like, balance their audio more, but, like, I do remember Yakuza 3 being a little louder than this. Oh. Wait, if the mic and, like, the game audio are both low at the same time, then I don't know how to fix both at the same time. I'm just going to raise the game audio and hope for the best.
はい、もしもし。
あ、出た。ちょっと、今どこにいるんですか？
ああ、いや、ちょっと出先だけど。
絶対嘘ね。どうせ会社にいるんでしょ？もう、どうして電話に出てくれないんですか？ちょっと聞いてます？あれ、電波悪いのかしら？秋山さん？秋山さん、聞こえてますか？
ああ、聞いてるってば。ごめんって。で、なんかよ。
よーって、何言ってるんですか？用あるに決まってるじゃないですか。
ああ、そうだよね。はいはい。俺が悪かったって。で、何？
ですね、今日は何の日か知ってますか？
え？今日は、君の誕生日か何か。
違う。いいから壁のカレンダー見てください。
集金日。
忘れないでくださいよ。
別に忘れてたわけじゃないよ。ただちょっと出かけるのためらっていたっていうか、なんかさ。
何なんですか？
今日さ、雨なんだよね。
雨ならもうとっくに止んでますよ。
But yeah, no, I just raised the game volume. Hopefully that fixes it. But yeah, like I was saying, I had this idea where I was gonna like rank every single opening of like every single Yakuza game. And I just vaguely remembered Yakuza 4. Like I didn't know if it started off with Akiyama leaving his office or if something else happened before cutting to Akiyama. But we just opened the game and yeah, it just immediately cuts to Akiyama. So not sure how I'd rank it among like all the other intros in the series, but when it comes to the intros in the series, there's like the one cutscene you can't skip because it's like in-game. At least that's how I remember it in the remaster. Not sure if anything's different here. I'm pretty sure this is still in-game. Like I really don't want to risk it by pressing the start button and like skipping it. Yep, no, you can't skip this one. This one is unskippable no matter what you do because it just instantly transitions into gameplay from what I understand. A little dynamic intro. The game just starts off with a dynamic intro. Not for any boss fight, but just for entering the world. And it's very cool. It's a great little way to open the game off. But yeah, probably one of the best intros in the series is just the first game. Like starting off in media res for like the first chapter is just like a really great choice. That like iconic shot with Kiryu like over like the dead patriarch. It works great. Yakuza 4, but another great thing about Yakuza 4 is, dude, it just starts off with like Kamurocho in the rain and it just looks beautiful. I love this version of Kamurocho. Like, just from memory, Yakuza 4 has, like, one of my favorite versions of Kamurocho in the franchise. It's probably my favorite version of Kamurocho in the entire franchise. And whenever it rains, it's just like, oh, this is, like, my favorite look for the city. And this game just kind of has a weird thing where, like, every time you talk with someone, they just give you XP. Like, if you talk with someone and tell you something useful, it just gives you, like, a lot of XP. It's like memos across the city. It's like feels like something there for like new players to the franchise, given the fact that like this game tried to separate. Oh, yeah, every time you talk to someone with a blue check mark, you get XP. That's the thing about this game. Oh, come on. They give me a guy with a blue check mark and I can't talk to him because he's like over there. Come on, man. So yeah, you just get little tutorial prompts and you get a little bit of XP every time you go to like talk to someone with a tutorial prompt. Just because this is supposed to be like, I guess, an entry point to the franchise because there's like a new protagonist, like 3 new protagonists, and also Kiryu just doesn't fit in this game. but Kiryu is still here and it's still connected to like the events of like the past game, so it's not really the best jumping point, but you know, you do have a lot of new protagonists do things. And ooh, Akiyama's clothes are also wet. They added that little detail in there. That's fun. But yeah, this game's remaster, off the top of my head, it really doesn't have that many issues. I think just the dodge. It's just the dodge is like a little shorter in the remaster and it doesn't work as well. But besides that, like Yakuza 4, just even the original, just de-emphasized like blocking a lot more than Yakuza 3. So the boost to 60 FPS didn't really change too much. Though it does seem like people struggled a lot more with enemies just grabbing them a whole bunch. Like because of the 60 FPS, enemies got a lot more grabby. But I'm pretty sure enemies will also still be grabby in this original version, but like blocking and all that, they played that down a lot from 3, which makes the game a lot easier. And like, oh yeah, I am playing on new games, so we're going to be pretty limited with the Akiyama moveset in the beginning here. We still have a lot of fun kicks, but we don't have like the triple... We don't have our triple heavy attack yet. We have to unlock that. I remember like the first time I picked up Yakuza 4 and I started playing around with this combat system, I was kind of like, wow, this is a lot simpler than I thought it'd be. Just because like my introduction to the series was like the Hyperbit Hero video, and like in his game... And like in that video where he's talking about like the entire franchise, the gameplay looked a lot more complex. But then I picked it up and I'm like, wow, this is all you can do? But then once you start unlocking more moves and also like start learning how to do the heat actions and all that, well, you start delving more into the complexities of the system. Even though Yakuza still is not too complex, but it strikes a nice like middle balance between like really easy, like really simple combat and like more like involved stuff. You know, like with the counters, you still have to like block. Like it's like simple while still being like engaging. It's not like brainless. Oh, and also we don't have like that many slash kicks yet. We have to like unlock those. Ooh, this game is chugging a little bit. I guess maybe like the rain is making it chug more. Also, the way I have my stream set up right now is different than like Yakuza 3, because for Yakuza 3 and Kenzin, I had like the Retro Tank 5X set up as like, I just kind of use the Retro Tank 5X as like its own, well, what's the word? Its own HDMI splitter, but now I'm just using an actual HDMI splitter. And it's been a bit finicky. Quit and continue with the story? Yes. Like, the HDMI splitter I'm using right now is being a little bit finicky, but hopefully it doesn't fuck up too much. And also my Wi-Fi has kind of been bugging out a bit. Like, look at this. Look how glossy this floor is. I love this. Like, it's kind of overbearing, but... Oh, wait. Didn't I just unlock upgrades? Yes, I did. There we go. And also, I love these menus. Even though I can understand why you wouldn't like these menus, they are kind of garish and very loud. But it's just like every character has, boom, bright red menu, boom, green, boom, blue, and Kiryu, just because he doesn't really have a distinct color, because, like, you know, the new protagonists all have a distinct color to them, but Kiryu just kind of has a gray suit. So he just gets a purple menu just because, you know, they can't really make a gray suit, and they can't use the red of Kiryu's, like, outfit because Akiyama already stole the red. But yeah, no, and here we have this upgrade system, which I'm a really big fan of. It just kind of lets you mess around and get the exact moves you want. It just kind of mess around. This is like one of the best upgrade systems in the series. So I can get a double kick, I can get a double finishing kick. Oh wait, no, I don't want the double kick. I want the double finishing kick. But that's like 4 bubbles. We got the quick step attacks, like combo speed boost. Definitely gonna need that. Double quick steps, enhanced quick steps, and you just kind of get to like fish around and just see exactly like which moves you want. Like, do I want that? Do I want that? Combo speed boost has to be it. Oh, and also we get to choose, and also like the way they separate it here, like, you know, this one you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, soul, tech, body, essence. This is awesome. This is a great upgrade menu. Like, honestly, just Yakuza 5 going back to, like, the more traditional style, like, of Yakuza 3 was honestly a mistake. They should have brought this back. This is such a fun way to, like, just have everything here. Oh, and this is also the wrong way to go, but I did go here to get a little memo thing. And there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I have completely forgot what it was. So I'm just going to continue playing the game and go from there. But yeah, no, I'll be playing this, and pretty much while playing this game, I'm just going to be thinking, like, is this game better than Yakuza 3 and Kenzin? Is it worse? Where am I going to rank it in, like, my new ranking? I'm just going to be considering that while playing through this game. Oh, yeah, also another big change which the remaster brings is that, well, Tanimura's actor got completely replaced. So yes, this is the version with the old Tanimura. I like both of them, but yeah, they are two different guys, two different faces, two different voices. Like, whatever these guys are talking about doesn't really, like, suit me. Just because I know too much about this series, I'm basically familiar with, like, almost everything. And oh, what's gonna happen here? Oh, and here's our introduction to Kiddo. Yakuza 4's story is, like, really good up until the ending, where it just kind of all falls apart. But, like, it falls apart in a pretty spectacular fashion. Just because, like, it was all adding up, like, until that point. It's a really tight story. Until it stops being.
Oh, お疲れっす。って兄貴、びしょ濡れじゃないっすか。
新井の兄貴は。
ああ、頭なら今柴田の組長さんのお供で、そこのビルの見学に行ってますが。
神村町ヒルズか。
ええ。なんでも親父の話じゃ本格的な建設が始まる前に。何としてでも真島組に顔を売らなきゃなんないとかで。
上のご機嫌取りか。くそ。
兄貴、どうしたんすか。そんなにイラついて。何かあったんすか。
七福通りにエルナードってキャバあんだろ。今あそこに上野のやつらが来てんだよ。
上野って上野清和会ですか。
ああ、8時くらいから2人連れで来て今飲んでる。
そうですか。あ、でもただ飲んでるだけなんですよね。なら別に問題ないじゃないですか。暴れてるわけじゃないんですし。
バカ。飲んでるってこと自体が問題なんだよ。
どうしてですか。は
あ、上野とうちの本家が親戚だってのはお前も知ってんよな。
Yeah, like this little cutscene is pretty info dumpy, but like I think the way they handle it's like pretty engaging. But also they do kind of use a little trick here where they have this character who just doesn't know anything, so like this guy's allowed to kind of babble to this other guy, but just the way it gets interrupted where he's just kind of like, I'm not listening, can you repeat that? It's just really fun.
そうなんすか。
表面上は対等な立場。でも裏じゃ上野清和会も俺らと同じ傘下組織の一部ってわけさ。まあ、例えて言うなら、東上会がアメリカで、上野清和会は日本みてえな感じってことだ。
あ、すんません。ちょっとよくわかんないっす。
Yeah, like stuff like this. And also Yakuza 4's like original translation does hold up a lot better than well Yakuza 3's and 1's of course. Because it seems like Yakuza 4 is like the game which they had like more time and maybe a little bit more backing to promote.
それの何が問題なんですか。は？だって上野と東上会は親戚なんですよね。だったら東上会系のうちの店で飲んでても別にいいんじゃないですかね。
バカかお前は。ここまで話わかんねえ。
Yeah, no, this is really good.
だからお前は使えねえんだよ。
And then Akiyama just kind of butts in.
秋山さん、 どうも。
ちょっと間が悪かったみたいだな。寝直そうか。
いやいや、大丈夫です。
Like I don't know. I've been reading a couple like interviews. No, I haven't. I saw like one tweet, and like I talked about it with some Discord mates.
回収がてら
And apparently, like some like the second half of Yakuza 4 is like pretty rushed. Like I think like one of the directors of the game, one of the producers said that like pretty much they did Akiyama, and then like when they finished up like Saijima's section, they were like, you know, like under schedule, like behind schedule, and they're like, oh fuck, we really need to like release this like before schedule or whatever. So like Tanimura and Kiryu sections got really rushed, and I wonder if like that also affected the story, which at that point they're like, oh fuck, we really got to wrap up this story now.
で、さっきの話の続きはどうして上野清和会の連中が金村工業の島で飲んじゃダメかって
But yeah, no, to go back to like a previous comment in
こいつらに
chat,
教えてやんなくていい
yeah, no, it is a little weird why Akiyama's like more handsome in like the PS3 games and the Dragon Engine game, but it's just because like
隣のビルまで聞こえる
like Akiyama is such a great design. Like just in this fourth game, Akiyama is like a fantastic design because he's like a handsome character, right? But he's not like perfectly handsome. He's not like a fucking supermodel, right? He's still kind of ugly. He just looks really realistic in that sense. He's like a little fugly, and I think like the PS3 rendering really helps him out because like the little fugliness just makes him more believable.
ええ、まあ
で、新井さんあたりに憧れてこの世界に入ったと。
そうです。
そうか。そりゃいい。
Yeah, no, and the voice actor of Akiyama is like the same guy who did Spike Lee. No, not Spike Lee. He didn't voice the famous director Spike Lee. He voiced Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop in Japan.
いやいや、そういう
Yeah, no, and he's also like Donald Duck in Japan.
いつ連絡がつくかわかりませんし。
Yeah, definitely like a super famous guy, and I'm pretty sure the reason he doesn't show up that much in like future games is because he's kind of expensive.
そっか。そうだよね。わかったよ。今日これから大変だぞ。
え、
あんたらの業界で下の連中が上の島で飲むなんてことはあってはなんないことなわけ。わかる？それは直系団体でも親戚団体でも同じ。例えば君が今からカムロ町で一杯やろうと思ったらさ、君の親である金村さんのさらに上の親、つまり柴田組の島で偉そうに飲むのって思うか？
いや、それは。
そうだろ？そりゃそうだよね。だってそんなことしたら金村の親分さんに恥かかせることになっちゃうかもしれない。それに後で新井さんにどれだけ怒られるか分かったもんじゃない。今回のことも同じだ。あんたんとこのお店に来てるのはあの上の清和会。カムロ町不可侵通東上会との約束破って大門ぶら下げたままカムロ町に来てること自体おかしい話だ。つまりそれがどういうことかわかる？
ちょっと秋山さん。
どういうことなんですか？
それはね、つまりこの金村工業が低く見られてるってことだよ。
なあ？
きっと上野の連中は金村工業の島の店なら飲んでああ。いくら金村工業が東上会の下の柴田組、そのさらに下の三次団体とはいえ、それはちょっと舐められすぎだ。
ちょっとあんた、うちのことバカにしてんのか？
やっと本気になったか。悪かったね、木戸ちゃん。
Oh, I think my Wi-Fi is fucking up.
それでいいんだよ、極道は。極道は大門のでかさだけが全てじゃない。てめんところ大門。
Ooh, yeah, no, my intro is kind of fucking up. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is not getting respect for me. Oh, no, 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 no.
じゃあここはまあ一つカムロ町の平和のために頑張って。あんたが頑張ってくんないと俺も儲からないしな。ね、兄さん。
え、ああ、はい。
よし、じゃあ帰るか。それじゃあ。
Like this is a pretty long cutscene, but I think it really works because you know stuff like the info dump, like it's just a big info dump. It feels very blatant, but this like it's giving a lot of characterization to everyone. You know, like Akiyama's reinforcing a lot of things. It's like setting up so many things that get pay off later. It's a great little info dump, but like it's actually done well. It's just such a shame that like some of the things that get set up don't get paid off in the most satisfying manner. Kiddo's kind of a big one. Because this is a really great setup for him. But then, and then, no, this is awesome too. Like this boss was just listening in the entire time and just set up Akiyama better. He's like, I did not want to deal with that fucking guy.
いつから
秋山のガキ帰ったな。ええ。しかし困ったもんだ。さっきお前が言ってた上野のやつらの件どうしたもんか。とりあえず新井の兄貴にすぐ連絡を取ります。でも確か新井は柴田の親父と出かけてんじゃなかったのか。連絡取れるまで電話をかけ続けます。そうか。もし上野の連中が暴れたりしたらどうしましょう。そうだな。あまり荒っぽいことになるのは避けた方がいいとは思いますが。新井の兄貴なら丸く収めてくれるとは思うんですが。そうだな。とにかくことを洗う。
Not really sure about like Akiyama's height. That's not really something I noticed. And not really sure what affects it.
わかりました。
But you know, like these two guys like never show up again. I guess they're just kind of used as a tool to like further, just kind of like further the characterization of like everyone else, and also just to keep the info dump interesting.
Akiyama Shun, 32歳。天下一通りでスカイファイナンスって店やってる金貸しだ。カムロ町の駆け込み寺って言われててな。他の店で融資を断られたようなやつにまで金を貸し付けてる。
闇金ってことっすか。
まあ本人は闇金じゃねえって言ってるがやってることは同じようなもんだ。ただまあ違うとこがあるとしたら他の金貸しと比べて融資の条件が変わってるってとこかな。
条件審査が特殊とかそういうことっすか。
You know, they really do be yapping in this
あ
one.
のスカイファイナンスって店じゃ客に金を貸すかどうか判断するために融資前に必ず何かしらの条件を客に提示せよ。その条件ってのがボランティアだの老人介護だの。
But you know, just Akiyama's such a, like a strong protagonist to like kick the game off with.
そんなことして何のメリットがあるんですかね。
さあな。それに一部の噂じゃ
Just like his whole deal is like super cool. Honestly, the only time where like Akiyama I think kind of like falters is like in some of the side content. Like I think he's just too cruel in like some of the stuff that happens. And also there's like a certain moment in chapter 1 which I think is like pretty out of place. But like even when he kind of like falters a little bit, he still kind of gets off on like just how charismatic he is as a character, and also just his performance. It's a great design, a great performance, and like just a lot of it just holds up. He's still like one of the best like pro tags in the series. And it's such a shame that he pretty much just kind of gets skimped as the games go along, because I don't know, he's not like really a Yakuza guy at all. So like when compared to the other characters, he's like a little bit weaker. Oh, and I completely forgot. The first time this guy, Akiyama, ever got like an English dub voice is actually in the brand new game in Yakuza 8, and it's pretty underwhelming. Like honestly, it kind of makes Young Ye look like a perfect fit, and Young Ye's not bad. I'm just kind of thinking about that. I think like my main thing with Young Ye as Kiryu is that he's all right, I guess. Not the best fit. He's very okay as a Kiryu, But just listening to his performance, like Young Ye's performance as Kiryu in the newer games, it just kind of makes me think he's not really doing anything that like Daryl couldn't have pulled off. Because like I could understand wanting to replace like Daryl, like the original dub voice actor of like Kiryu in like Yakuza 1, and also the guy they brought back in 7, just because like he maybe wouldn't be able to pull off some of the more emotional stuff in Gaiden and 8. But Young Ye isn't really that much better than him at like doing that sort of stuff. So they might as well have just brought that guy back, because Young Ye isn't really doing anything all that crazy in comparison to like what Daryl could pull off. That's just my impression of it.
分かった。エルナードだな。少ししたら向かう。
But yeah, no, just like the guy that got to voice Akiyama, he just sounds like a guy. He doesn't really like sound like Akiyama at all. He doesn't really have like a same inflection as like a chain smoker or like a cool swagger to him. He's just a guy. And yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to dog on the voice actor, because, you know, same thing with Young Ye. He's done better performances as other characters. You know, I think it's just more that specific character, like Akiyama or Kiryu, like the direction, but just doesn't work out. I don't know. Feels a little stilted. Ooh, can I? Oh, this is the game which allows you to pick up garbage, just kind of more crafting materials to pick up around the area. A little bit more busy work, whatever. But yeah. But yeah, no, like Daryl, I mean, he sounded really good in 7. Like, he got a little bit more better direction. Like, he just fits Kiryu. And also, like, I mean, I am pretty nostalgic for him being Yakuza 1, but like most of the bad parts about Yakuza 1 is just the direction and the audio editing. Because there's just a lot of lines that get like edited together in like the worst fashion possible. It sounds really awkward. But in 7, he's got a better setup. You know, they edit his audio better. Like, you know, he sounds good. He sounds good in the role. However, one of my friends really doesn't like him for like a specific reason. And like basically the way he describes it is that Daryl Kuroda. Wait, no, he's not called Kuroda. He's called Daryl. I do not know how to say his last name. Daryl Kuryo, like Kuryo. Daryl. Basically, my friend doesn't like Daryl because he thinks he sounds like a white guy trying to do his best impression of a deep black voice, and like, I mean, that's certainly a complaint. But like, I don't know, I don't really care too much about that. But he sounds like a really good fit, and in 7 he sounded pretty nice. But it's just weird. They brought him back in 7 and don't bring him back in the future games. It just feels like a weird disconnect there. But anyways, I was going to say something else. I forgot what. Can I touch myself freaky style? No. What does this have to do with Yakuza 4, bro? Are you tweaking? You are mad tweaking. But yeah, here's another little tutorial. I'm actually not sure if this is a tutorial or if it's just going to be a normal combat section. Oh, it's going to be another tutorial. I really like the way like Yakuza 4 handles the tutorials, because if you'll notice in that first section, I didn't do every single tutorial prompt. It's just one of these tutorials that, like, if you want to do it, you can do it, but if you don't want to do it, you can just completely ignore it. It's very useful. Oh, you have also a little time limit. It's like a fun tutorial, you know? It's like, you still have to, like, beat it in a certain amount of time. It's just really fun and involved. Oh, that combo speed boost is coming in real handy. Just straight from the beginning of the game, boom, you can get a combo speed boost and just instantly get into the action. While in Yakuza 3, that is one thing, combo speed does take a while to upgrade. Yakuza 3 and Yakuza 6 in particular, like combo speed just takes a while. But then again, I mean, Yakuza 4, I guess it is pretty important to just allow you to get like the most important upgrades as fast as possible, given that each character has like less gameplay to go through because it's 4 different protagonists in a game that's about as long as... Ooh, I have to quick step. I completely forgot about that, okay. Oh, and doing the little tutorial prompts like gives you more XP. Oh, I should have done the tutorial. I should have done the tutorial prompts then in that last tutorial. I just missed out on a good amount of XP. So, you know, Yakuza 5 also does this because, you know, that game is also kind of following a similar structure to Yakuza 4. It's definitely much longer than Yakuza 4, but it still has to, like, allow you to get, like, a majority of the upgrades very, very quickly from the start. Instead of, like, the way Yakuza 3 or even Yakuza 6 would handle it, where, you know, it will take a majority of the game to get everything. You just watched the Kiwami 2 no damage video and it was just forward, dodge attack, and heat actions. Yeah, I think you just watched my old Kiwami 2 no damage. Yeah, no, I think that's probably like my worst no damage video, and like the footage looks really bad. The strategy is just exactly as you describe it. Like that video is actually the exact reason why I started making my Roblox videos, because the first one I did was like Roblox Kiwami 2, and the specific reason for that video was I wanted to have a no damage of Kiwami 2 where like it wasn't just that. Like it was like a little bit more intricate. I used more combos. Like it was like more like no damage. Like it was more stylish. I wanted a more stylish Kiwami 2 no damage video. But I didn't just want to do Yakuza Kiwami 2 again. I wanted it to have a gimmick. So I decided let's just do it as Roblox. Because why not? And also change up the music. So that's the whole reason why Roblox started. Because like my old Kiwami 2 no damage video was very mid and bad. You know, and the way the bosses are spread out gets a little bit annoying, because like each character individually has less bosses to fight than like the previous games, like in Yakuza 3 and whatnot. So yeah, the scaling's a little bit messed up, because you know it pretty much has to like contain it to like 4 mini Yakuza games instead of like one big Yakuza game where like each boss gets harder and harder and harder. Even though the bosses do get harder and harder and harder kind of throughout your playthrough, but you know, it's just not the same. Oh, and we're finally here at the club. Okay, we're finally gonna have the big climactic moment here. And also the big climactic first boss fight. Wait, gunk shot? I don't know. I do not take him to be the sort of person to do that sort of stuff. Maybe it's one of his older videos, because like he's all about like doing more intricate combos and all that. Unless it's like a long battle video, I could maybe see why someone would do that in like a long battle, because those things can get very fucking annoying. Now, me having no damaged all the long battles in Kiwami 2 myself, it gets very painful. Though that Kiwami 2 long battle video, I'm also not 100% proud of it, but mostly just because of the way I handled the final long battle. Because I just split it up into 2 parts. I did like 1 no damage, and then for like the first section, I no damaged all of that, and then for the second section, I just did that like by itself without including the previous section, so I didn't do it all in one take for that last like long battle. So it's a little cheap, that video. But the rest of those long battle no damages I'm pretty proud of. The differences between Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, and Yakuza 5 combat systems, that's a bit of a doozy to get into. I don't know. Yakuza 3 is just kind of like, you know, Kiryu's moveset. Enemies kind of block a bit. You kind of have to like parry a bit more. And also just the main thing with the Yakuza 3's combat system is that you don't deal much damage. Yakuza 4 boosts the amount of damage you deal by a ton. Like, this is kind of like when the series started having like nuclear heat actions, where like the heat actions just like absolutely like decimate like health bars. Yakuza 4 is kind of the start of that. In fact, Yakuza 4 is honestly one of the easiest games in the franchise. Like, when it comes to like considering which game is the easiest, it's between Yakuza 4 or Yakuza 0. And honestly, I think Yakuza 4 kind of edges it out a little bit, just because you get to upgrade yourself a lot quicker in Yakuza 4, and there's less boss fights. Like, I mean, like, Yakuza 0 has to be the harder game, because, like, the first real boss fight in Yakuza 0 is Kuze, and the first real boss fight in this game is this guy, and this guy's a punk. So, like, this game has to be the easier one. But yeah, and also, like, Yakuza 4 changes things up quite a lot from 3, because, you know, you have the 3 new protagonists, and they each have, like, their own little combat system. Like, Akiyama, like, he's a little bit faster, doesn't really have, like, as many, like, counter options as the other guys. Well, no, Saejima has, like, no counter options. He has, like, one tiger drop, and that's it. Wait, does he even have one in this game? I'm not even sure if he has one in this game. That might be something which Yakuza 5 added. But yeah, no, like, Akiyama, he's, like, a little bit weaker than Kiryu. He doesn't really have as many... Yeah, no. Even though he does have, like, a tiger drop of some sort, he's... Like, Akiyama here still doesn't have, like, a parry. In the same way that Kiryu does. Because Kiryu has a tiger drop, he has the Komaki parry. You know, he has all those options. Oh. And then you get to Saejima, and he's very slow and heavy, and he doesn't really play like any of the other characters. Like, the one thing is Akiyama does have a lot of similarities with Kiryu, but, you know, he's got all these fancy kicks, which Kiryu doesn't have. And then you get to Tanimura, and that guy's like completely defensive. You know, he has like a whole parry system, like an actual, like, you know, you hold the button down to like parry enemies, and again, you can't really be offensive like him. In the same way you could be offensive with like Akiyama and like Saejima and Kiryu. And then Kiryu finally shows up in the game, and ooh, I have to wait for this guy to do the feel the heat moment. If I just kill him, I'll just miss it. And another difference between combat is that the way Feel the Heat works has been reworked in this game to be more like these little cutscene things instead of just like a predetermined animation, which will always happen the same way, like the way it was in like Yakuza 2 and 3. Wait, you don't fuck with Rebellions? I love this soundtrack though. This is like one of my favorite like boss themes in the franchise. I think it's awesome. But yeah, no, if you play Yakuza 3 Kiryu and Yakuza 4 Kiryu, you'll like immediately notice the differences. Even though they both play the same, 4 is a lot easier and you just feel more powerful in 4. Because enemies block less, just Kiryu deals more damage, yada yada, so on and so forth.
相変わらずの強さですね。スカイファイナンスにうちら本職が手出せないのもよくわかる。
勝手なことして悪かったね。こいつらちょっとムカついたもんでさ。
Yakuza 5, however, I mean, if we're going to compare Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, and Yakuza 5 combat, Yakuza 5 also is a big change because, like, the physics have changed. Like, it doesn't feel the same to play, for better or worse. Like, I think, like, the way it feels is better, but, like, a lot of the gameplay utility you had before is not in 5. Like, the bounding, specifically, is just completely gone in 5. Like, Yakuza 3 and 4 kind of have, like, this little bounding system where, like, you know, you hit an enemy against a wall, they'll, like, bounce off of it. And then you get to like hit them more, like do like a second or third combo there. And it was really fun. It made like combat feel pretty hectic. But that's just gone in 5. So like 5, it just makes 5's combat like simpler in retrospect. Like, you can't really combo the same way you can in 4. Like the comboing isn't as hectic. It's not as like technical. It's a much simpler game to play through, which for Kiryu, it does kind of feel like a bit of a downgrade from his 4 style, but like Kiryu just kind of gets like this big fuck you, like extreme heat mode thing where he's like completely invincible and can just absolutely decimate enemies. So Like, fighting normal enemies becomes a lot easier in 5, and also like a little bit more brainless, but fighting boss fights just gets a little bit more annoying because you just can't really combo them the same. But then you get to Saejima in 5, and Saijima's a lot more fun to play in 5 than in 4, because in 4, yeah, there's bounding and there's combos, and Akiyama and Kiryu can really take advantage of stuff like that, but Saejima really couldn't take advantage of stuff like that. He didn't really have too much going for him aside from just being a big fuck you character, like, I'm gonna do my charge attack and really... And that just works a lot better in 5. He has more moves, you know, he can like pick a guy up in the air and swing him around, like Saijima's like, just, I think improves a lot in 5. But then you get to Akiyama in 5, and like there's like a few things I like better about Akiyama in 5, like I don't know, I think I'll try to demonstrate it once I get into combat again in this game, but so like you can hit enemies while they're on the ground in 5, but in 4 you pretty much are only allowed to do like the kick.
Akiyama-san, 申し訳ありませんが、ここからは俺たちの仕事です。
Oh, my stream is fucking up again. Oh man.
その拳銃今ここでぶっ放すのか。そんな勇気があんたにあんのか。
And well, Tanimura doesn't exist in 5. Instead, he gets replaced by Shinada, and Shinada is just kind of like his unique little thing. He kind of has like shorter combos. He's got like a couple weird gimmicks that like are pretty inconsistent. The only counter Shinada gets just does not work against boss fights. Like the little grab combo he has, where he just like immediately gets behind a boss fight to grab them. They just break out of it. But Shinada is still really fun. And the one thing about Shinada is that you can just like continuously like abuse enemies while they're getting up from the ground. And yeah, you can do the same thing with Kiryu, but like the way Shinada does it, I think is a little bit more fun. And also like the little extra combos he has with weapons are pretty neat. Nothing too transformative, but like it's kind of fun to like play around with. And if you're going to use weapons at all in Yakuza 5, like Shinada's really the only guy that's worthy of like using weapons, because Yakuza 5 also changed the way weapons work in the sense that you have to like level them up by using them a whole bunch. I thought that was pretty stupid. I didn't like that. But Yakuza 5 is still like in my top 3, though the combat does have a lot of aspects that I just think are... My Wi-Fi is just complete ass. Like, I think at this point, I need to like stop my stream, shut down OBS, bring the OBS back, and just kind of do all that, because like my Wi-Fi is so inconsistent. Maybe just turning OBS on and off may or may not help it. But wow, I mean, I really need to get that extension cable. So I'm gonna try to like plug it in, plug it out, and see what happens. Okay, I've turned the stream back on. If everything is going well, it should be back on track. Ooh, it is taking a little while for the stream to turn back on, though. What's going on there? Like, my little thumbnail there isn't really changing. Oh, there we go. Now it's changing. There we go. Alright, we're back on track there. It seems like it's a little more consistent, but you never know. I also need to pay more attention to these cutscenes. I'm getting a little bit too lost, like, yapping about stuff. But, yeah, no, just like the way Arai gets introduced is also, like, really cool. It's just that, like, you know, it's all kind of a shame in retrospect, because, you know, you just know that, like, Arai's character isn't really going to have that great of a payoff. He just ends up being kind of lame by the end. And yeah, this first chapter has taken nearly an hour, and yeah, a lot of it is cutscenes, and I guess me just kind of yapping about. And also, yeah, like, this is also a really cool part of, like, Yakuza 4. Oh, this is of the famous little scene.
ほ
社長もう日付変わってる世の中は
Yeah, I want you to keep in mind that this cutscene is voiced. I want you to pick up on something specific.
全
ういや
社長はでも私毎朝9時から会社来て今日出前の注文したりしてる
出前は関係ないじゃない
とにかく
だ分かってるってだから今日も
帰れ
どうしてる
ついさっきから
喧嘩
何言ってるんですか私レイプとかされたらどうするんですか
レイプ君が
Why the fuck would he say that? Like, Akiyama's just one of those characters where it's like the general consensus is like, yeah, this guy's pretty cool as hell. But then there'll be like other people who'll be like, nah, that guy's an asshole. And be like, what do you mean he's an asshole? And then they'll just point to a moment like this and be like, oh yeah, he did say that. And he just kind of has moments like that in the sub-stories too. Like there's a certain sub-story in this game where like a woman who like, you know, is like homeless with her child. Like, my mom's kind of homeless. Like there's just a random mom there. And she's homeless with her child, and she's like, oh, I really don't want to be homeless. I need money to, like, get out of my situation. And Akiyama's like, oh, yeah, why don't you go work in the red light district? Why don't you go, like, basically whore yourself out? And he's like, no. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to give you the money because you weren't willing to do anything for your child. Like, what the fuck, Akiyama? This guy's morals are all over the place. Like, I don't know, it's just like every now and then, like, in a sub-story, he'll just do something that's a bit dickish. For, like, no real good reason. Like, it's just fucking, like, I don't know, he's just a bit fucked in the head every now and then. And also in the remaster, this is, like, one of the sillier aspects of the remaster. Basically, like, they retranslated that line as, like, you know, Hana's like, oh, I don't want to go out there, I'm a delicate flower. And then, like, Akiyama's like, oh, you, delicate flower? Except, it's a voiced cutscene. That's why I was saying that, you know, like, the cutscene's voiced. They're doing voice acting, so you can literally hear Akiyama say rape out loud. That hasn't changed. They're still saying the same thing in Japanese. But, you know, I guess they're just trying to, like, they can't, like, type it out or something. Oh, I have a ton of upgrades. Oh my goodness, hold up. I can get a double, like, I have a ton of upgrades. Hold on, let me get that. Yeah, there we go, that's what I want. And oh, I can get like the full combo like very quick in the game. I just need one more orb. Actually, if I spend these orbs, I can spend the next orbs there. I don't want the double kick. The double kick doesn't really matter. Ooh, okay, the quick step attack is gonna be really useful, but it'll only be useful if I can dodge out of my attacks. Dodge combo? Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm saying. The dodge combo. So I guess I need to get like these things before getting that. Oh no, I just needed to get enhanced quick steps. So there we go. Once we get this dodge combo stuff, the little like the quick step attacks are gonna go crazy. You know, it is really funny. Yeah, no, it's like every time like a woman comes into like his office for like help, he's like, yeah, just go work in my club. He just kind of sends them there, like, yeah, just become the #1 girl. And then he's like, yeah, if you do good, I'll help you out. And she does good, and it's like, yeah, I'll help you out. His whole philosophy gets kind of silly if you think about it too much. Oh, I have all these save. Ooh, this adds up perfectly. Boom. Yakuza 4, save file 4. Let's go, let's go. Okay, no, he got that like perfect hunched posture. Just he's just bending back. I'm still not allowed to go talk to that guy. That is such a shame. Let's see. Is there gonna be like a little blue check mark? Ooh, blue check mark. Wow, I can't believe the fucking Elon Musk predicted Yakuza 4. No, 0 blue check marks inside the ice cream store, so we're just gonna get out of there. But you know, the music that's playing right now, it's only going to play during this section, and it's awesome. Just like an awesome little like tension theme, but like for the rest of the game, like every single time there's like a tension moment like this, where you have to like rush to a location, they're gonna play a completely different track, and this will never happen again. One thing that really annoys me about like PS3 save files, and this is also true of PS2 PS4 save files, is that every time you have to save the game, you have to go to a completely different menu, go through like that whole little process, and it slows things down a lot. Not sure if PS5 works the same way. I'm pretty sure it does. But just like when the Yakuza games got ported to PC, the way you have to save the game is like so much quicker. You just go, you press save, and it's done. Like just no bullshit. Well, PS4 and PS3, you have to go through like a whole little process. I'm pretty sure on the PSP, you also have to go through like a whole little process. It's just kind of like their mandated like saving menu thing. Like it's basically like mandated at this point the way the PS3 and PS4 handled saves.
どうやら俺はもらい損ねたようだ。それじゃ。
You know, this intro is so dope. Like it just introduces so many characters so quickly. But yeah, no, playing Mahjong during this stream might be like needed just because Yakuza 3 removed Mahjong from the original game, while Yakuza 4 brings it back. So yeah. Boom, there we go. The other protagonist just instantly gets introduced.
余分な発砲は一切なし。こりゃ殺す気満々で撃ってるね。逃げなくていいんですか？え？犯人はさっき走ってった男ですよね。このままだとあなたが警察に捕まることになると思うんですが。
あんた
仇の方ですよね、あなた。
ああ、そうだな。
警察ってのは嫌なやつが多いとこです。捕まったら無理やり自白させられてしまうかもしれませんよ。
花ちゃん。
This is like the first time like Hana-chan pulls up in the game physically.
動けと言っていたろ。いや、おい、違うって。いや、俺じゃないんだって。無駄な抵抗はやめろ。
杉内さんの尋問は半端ないと思いますんで、気合い入れて頑張ってください。それじゃ。
杉内ってあの？おい、ちょっと待てあんた。いや、だから違うんだって。
There's just so much great setup in these beginning chapters.
花ちゃん。
Like just like his reaction to hearing that name is just a great way to like imply, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. Like it's so tight. It's like, and also like yeah, a lot happens in this chapter. Like I mean, it feels like it's kind of long, but like it's also so quick with it. Like it covers a ton of stuff in a decently brief amount of time. It's like very concise for like everything it's covering and setting up like for the beginning chapter. Like just very little wasted time. Despite what you would think, despite like all the info dumping happening. Also, this retcon I think is really good. Like pretty much retconning that guy in the beginning of Yakuza 1 to be Akiyama was great. And yeah, like some people like kind of wanted Kiwami 1 to just make that model Akiyama again, but it would have been, I guess, a little weird. But like I mean, since they already did it in Yakuza 4, and since like another change which the remaster of Yakuza 4 makes is that like later on in the game there'll be flashbacks to like the events of Yakuza 1 and 2, and in this original game they use footage from Yakuza 1 and 2, While in the remaster of Yakuza 4, they use footage from like Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2. So like Kiryu just kind of has a flashback to a moment where he gets better graphics in the future. It's a little weird.
釈放だ。早く支度しろ。
よかったな、目撃者がいて。あの可愛い顔したお前さんの部下。
The second fucking thing that comes out of this guy's mouth is fucking super chunk.
花ちゃんのことですか。
Immediately a complete fucking asshole. And also like this guy is mocapped from like a famous like Japanese actor. Like I don't know too much about him, but he does show up in the movie like the Raid 2. Like the Raid movies are awesome, like just insane choreography in like both of those movies. Like super worth a watch. But yeah, no, he's in the second one. Don't know much about his other career, but yeah, he's just here. He's one of those prolific actors they got for this game.
これ以上金村工業みたいなクズとは付き合うな。駆け込み寺だかなんだか知らねえが、てめえみてえに誰彼構わず金を貸すバカがいると、バカから金借りたバカが調子に乗って暴れんだ。
Oh yeah, no, there is like one piece of re-recorded dialogue in Yakuza 4, but it's not the one that happened in Chapter 1. That line is still the same in like the remaster. That's not the dialogue they changed.
犯罪が増えるって言ってんだよ。
ゲーム感覚ですか。
そうだ。今回のドンパチもお前が絡んでたってことは割れてんだ。お前が遊び半分で金村連中を煽ってっからこんなことになっちまったんだよ。
杉内さん。
ああ？
俺はね、俺なりの信念があって金貸してるつもりなんですよ。だから金貸しはやめません。もういいですか。早く帰りたいんで。
金村が死んだよ。
いつ？
お前がぐっすり寝ている最中だ。いいか。これ以上金村工業と上野清和会の件には関わるな。てめえが金村の連中に近づいたら、こっちも徹底的にお前のこと洗ってやるぞ。
I think the remaster also changed the fucking super chunk line to something else. Like it was still like an insult, or they might have kept it. I don't know, but I forget exactly how they translated that section in the remaster. But you know, I just remember that like once I hit this chapter or so, like the map really opens up, like boom, it just completely opens up, and then I got distracted and I just kind of like, you know, got introduced to like the joys of like Yakuza. Pretty much it's just like having the entire world open to you and being able to like do a bunch of side activities, just kind of fuck around. Like this is kind of when like I started really exploring that. Like I just went to the no, I think it's like when I went to like the objective at the arcade. Like near the arcade area where you have to like go up to the roof. That's when like I really got introduced to everything. I was like, wow, I gotta play this arcade game. I gotta play this like this little machine here. I had to do this, that, and also like at some point you also get introduced to like side quests and all that. Just it was a great big ball of fun. And also, where was that guy? I mean, I don't think it was on this street. It must have been on another street, where I got like the other objective, the other blue guy. Oh, there's a rich guy. That's fine. There we go. That's that guy I wanted to talk to. He's all the way down there. And the thing with these rich guys is that they're not really tough at all. Oh, I still don't have my triple kick. I'm gonna unlock that on the next upgrade, which will probably happen once I kill this guy. But if I want to like get that upgrade, I should probably do a heat action just to get more XP. Oh, I guess I have to kill him first to get all that XP. There we go, I got some XP now. Oh, come on, and I lost it. Oh, I got it back. Come on, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. One guy was not enough, but I'm very, very close to leveling up. Ooh, yeah, recently, the same person who, like, did the Yakuza Restored mod for, like, you know, the original Yakuza 1, like, he pretty much, like, changed up, like, the dialogue to, like, be more consistent with the original Japanese script. He kind of changed certain fonts to be more consistent with the rest of the series. He kind of, like, added the Edo font into the games. He also, like, improved the graphics of, like, the FMV sequences, you know, like, the pre-rendered sequences. Like, they look a lot better. And he's done the same thing for Yakuza 2 now. Like, recently, a Yakuza 2 Restored patch came out. And while the changes aren't as drastic... Oh, and well, the most drastic thing about the original, like, Yakuza 1 Restored patch is that it adds in the Japanese voice acting again. So yeah, the patch for Yakuza 2 isn't as transformative because Yakuza 2 already has the Japanese language, but the changes are really solid. I haven't played it myself, but, like, yeah, no, like, the changes aren't as transformative because Yakuza 2's original translation isn't as bad as Yakuza 1's, but he still kind of changed it up a bit, just kind of made it more in line with the way Kiwami 2 translated things, but there's been some really great changes in that, like, Yakuza 2 patch, the Yakuza 2 Restored patch. Like, one, they improved like, the graphics of, like, the pre-rendered sequences. Like, they're a lot clearer in his patch. Like, just, like, he did, like, some weird magic, like, you know, just, like, coding magic or just, like, magic with, like, editing to make those FMVs just look a lot clearer. It's a very beautiful change. And also just that mod does similar things, just a nicer translation, also just clearer graphics, and also the Edo font has been added back in. So if you're going to emulate Yakuza 2, that you have to use that patch now. It's probably the best way to play the game. I don't think they really change anything to the combat, but I think maybe for Yakuza 1, they may or may not have made the lock-on more smooth, but from what I understand, I don't think changes have been made to the combat, but there's just been changes made to, like, the performance and just the translations and dialogue and all that. Oh, boom, this is the exact guy that let me level up. I love this guy. This guy's awesome. Let's get that triple kick. Oh, but for this Yakuza 4 stream, this is PS4. And one thing which you should notice is that the text, like the font in this game, is very much from the PS3 era. Just because, like, the remasters also use, like, a different font for everything. For some reason, I don't know, maybe to be more consistent with, like, a certain thing they want to do, yada yada. But yeah, I'm playing the original PS3 version because, well, I played the original PS3 version for Yakuza 3, so I thought, why not do it for Yakuza 4 as well? The issues with, like, the remaster of Yakuza 4, I don't think were nearly as drastic as the ones with Yakuza 3 in terms of combat, but, you know, since I own Yakuza 4 on the PS3, I might as well just play it. I might as well just stream it for the PS3. And yeah, someone in chat, like way, like, later, like, in chat, basically was telling me, like, why am I replaying all these games on stream? The reason I'm doing it is because I'm planning on redoing my All Yakuza Games Ranked video. I'm going to, like, re-rank all the games. I'm going to, like, rank the ones which were not in that original video because, you know, that video came out, like, 3 to 4 years ago. And, you know, there's a lot of games that have come out since then, so that's going to change up the rankings a bit. And also, like, my opinions on a lot of these games probably have changed since, like, back then. So some games might be higher, some games might be lower, and I decided why not just stream all of them because... just in retrospect, I don't really have that many streams. I don't have streams of all the games. And I think for, like, a pretty Yakuza-based channel, I might as well just do a regular stream for every single game just to have a little walkthrough for each one of them. And also, like, if you're new to this stream, Yakuza 4 was, like, the first Yakuza game I ever played. Like, this is actually my introduction to the series. And also I played it on the PS3. Yes, I do plan on streaming Dead Souls after 4. Because honestly, I kind of want to get rid of the PS3, like, on my setup here. Just because, like, my setup with my desks here is pretty cluttered. Like, I have a PS3, a Nintendo Wii, and a PS5 out. So once I'm done with Dead Souls, I'll actually have a good excuse to just put the PS3 into storage and just kind of have more empty space there. But then I'll have to, like, set up my Steam Deck for, like, the PSP ones, or maybe I'll do, like, a weird thing where, like, I'll stream it from the PSP itself. But for the Kuruhyo streams, I really want to play those English patches because I've never really played those games with the English patches in mind. Oh yeah, no, fucking Ryuji's level in Dead Souls is like one of the worst things in the franchise. I fucking hated that section. And yeah, the forklift was awful. Just horrible, horrible section. And if you fail it, like the checkpoint to like restart the whole thing, I think was like really far away. Like it was just miserable. Like I was praising that like I think Yakuza 4 has a really tight and like good story for pretty much like the first 3/4, and then like the last fourth just kind of makes it all fall apart. But it's not like the beginning of this game doesn't have a few weak sections, and like Lily is part of it. She's not great. And yeah, like another reason why she's not great is just that I don't think Akiyama and like her charisma is really all that good. She's just a weird, confusing mess of a character. Like, there's a lot of things that are like really the monkey, monkey. I hated that part too in Dead Souls, mostly because I was trying to beat it and it just felt impossible to beat. And also like the save puts you in a really bad spot. Like I did not have multiple save files for Dead Souls. So I pretty much just like saved over one of my save files for like the next chapter, and like the start of the chapter is just boom, that turret section. So if you didn't have equipment equipped before that section becomes a lot more painful. Like yeah, no, like Lily here, and also like the setup here with like Akiyama like getting into a romantic relationship with her is just kind of like, yeah, you look like my ex-wife. I don't like it that much. Like there's a couple things which are cool on paper about her. You know, she's like a femme fatale character. You know, like some of the things she does is pretty fucking crazy. Her connection with like Saejima is really interesting. Like the way her story plays out is like kind of cool, but just like wow, she just does not have the charisma to carry someone like this. She's like very soft spoken, and yeah, like I mean, but there is still a lot of cool stuff happening in this beginning cutscene. Like just like all these little images that get pay off later on, like you know, it's like she introduces this lighter. The lighter gets a little shot focused on there, and then that lighter becomes a big clue in like tracking her down later and just figuring out her story. What? Wait, the women in 7 were cool. Like no, like Sayako's awesome. Like that one lady which runs like the little like. I guess like prostitution place was pretty cool, and there was like someone else too. No, like Sang, like the ruler of like the Korean mafia in 7, she's awesome. Like, wait, what do you mean weak characters? Like 7's one of like the better aspects of that. Like wait, is like Yasuko in this game? Yasuko. I'm pronouncing her name completely wrong. Like she has a fake name Lily, and then like you know we find out her real name like later on. But I think I forgot how to pronounce her real name. But yeah, no. In Yakuza 8, I think like the women are slightly worse. But honestly, there's a lot of really likable characters in 8. I mean, 8's story I just do not think is as strong as 7's, but like the cast is still really likable. Like you know, the main party you hang out with Ichiban, like you know, they're all really likable people. But just like 8 just kind of gets into this bad habit where like there's like a big thing where like each woman character just kind of like fixates over like a certain dude. Like Saiko just kind of gets involved in this really cringy like drama, romance, like fucking like near rom-com like level shenanigans. The ruler of like the Korean mafia. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Like Senji. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but like the ruler of like the Korean mafia from 7. I mean, honestly, like she's not too bad in 8. Just that she's like a big fan of like Kiryu as a Dragon of Dojima. But that one like adds up better. Like I think that one's a lot more charming than like some of the other things. Chitose is like a really like fun character in 8, though. For like no reason, she's also like somewhat romantically interested in Ichiban. It's like she just has to be for some reason, even though she didn't really have to. But like she is still a pretty fun character. She gets a little bit wrapped up in like betrayals and all that, but besides that, I don't know where this yapping's gonna end. I don't know.
そのお店にお世話になっていたことがありまして。
そっちの業界長いんですか？
ええ。
Oh wait. Oh wait. Airy. Oh, I've just like connected something here. Dude, fucking Lily and Airy have like the same issue. They are both so soft spoken. They just don't leave that much of an impression. But Airy's like but the one thing with Airy in 7 is that she's like the best party member out of them all. So like I just needed to have her on my team. But yeah, she's so soft spoken in the Japanese dub. Like she's like probably like the worst performance in 7.
現金で1億円。10日以内に私に融資していただけませんでしょうか。
1億ですか。
Oh, I think when they were talking about like weak characters, they just meant like they weren't that good of characters, but we weren't talking about like they were physically weak. But yeah, Adachi like just pulled a gun out of like her hand at some point. But then again, Adachi's kind of like a beef. He's a bull. That guy's huge. Though it is funny that like in 7 he seems like he'd have more of a chunky build, but then like in 8 he's just like completely chiseled. For like a fucking, what is he, like 60 years old? Like 50 years old? Dude just has like the most like basic chiseled body and like no gut whatsoever. And like in 8 he does says, oh yeah, I started dieting.
あんたさ、自分の言ってることの意味分かってんの？
やっぱり無理ですよね。そんな話。そうですよね。すみません。私どうかしてました。この話忘れてください。お時間取らせてしまってすみませんでした。それじゃ。
ちょっと待った。貸さないとは言ってませんよ。まあ、ゆっくりお茶でも飲みながらお話ししませんか。
Yeah, the one weird thing about this little section here is also the interruption of cutscenes. Like basically you have like one really well animated cutscene, and then you have a little text box, and then we return to like the really well animated cutscene.
さっき10日以内って言ってたけど、つまりあなたすぐにお金が必要なんだよね。
はい。
急いでるんだよね。
はい、そうです。
でもテストに受からなかったら時間の無駄遣いになっちゃうわけなんだけど、どうします？それでもテストの方受けてみますか？
Like Aries a really funny character. Like she's pretty entertaining. Just like her original performance, just it's very underwhelming. And also she's like one of the best party members.
本当にいいんですね。
私にはもう他の選択肢はないんです。お願いします。そのテスト受けさせてください。
Like I think this game just gets off on a really like good foot, just like being like, you know, just a brand new like just being like a brand new start for the Yakuza franchise. But then like just once the later half of the game starts happening, like the later quarter of the game starts happening, then it just kind of starts trying to wrap up every single thing from the previous games. Like, oh yeah, Jingu was actually involved in a much bigger thing, and it was all this. It just kind of gets like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Like at that point, I'm just kind of like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like the story gets a little bit too huge for its britches, too big for its britches. Yeah, no, just Lily's not great. Honestly, she's just a very snoozy character. She talks like she's constantly about to pass out and sleep. And well, considering that, you know, she is kind of like the murderer of like 30 different men, and also she's like trying to free her brother, she is under a ton of stress. So I guess like she would be sleepy, but she always talks like she's like on a Benadryl. Wait, no, I don't think that's what Benadryl does. Like, well, what's a certain medication that just makes you sleepy as fuck? Because she sounds like she's on that like the entire time she's on screen.
お名前聞いてもよろしいですか？
リリーと言います。
リリさんですか？それは本名？
She's always like fucking chugging NyQuil. Like yeah, melatones. She's off the melatonin gummy.
いえ、いいです。明日のご来店お待ちしてます。
And then boom, chapter 2 just immediately like introduces us to like the new roof areas of the game. Oh, never mind. We're gonna get dragged back down to the office, I assume, for some sort of introduction. Maybe we're gonna introduce to like the safe house of the game. You know, just Akiyama's office, because we still have not have access to. What the fuck is that little exercise chair on that? That's such a weird little item. Dude, like, what are we doing here? What is this? Oh, I can go into first person. Yeah, dude. No. I don't like it. I just look at this little area. Not the biggest fan of the colors. I don't know. I mean, it's just a boring office. That is kind of the point. But, like, yeah, but the details I do really like. Just all this cluttered work. This looks, like, very painful and horrible. Just a very unorganized office here. And just, like, the desk with all these, like, overlapping papers. And then there's like this very nice shelf which just hides an entire safe, which you can just randomly open if you pull the right book. Oh, that was such a that's a fun bit of characterization. Like I know some people hate that plot point, but it just kind of like characterizes Akiyama perfectly. He's such a fucking like doofus. Yakuza 4 is also one of the more lighthearted games in the franchise. Like, it's not as brutal as some of the other games. Though, there is still a lot of people dying and stuff. But even when they die, the way those cutscenes are framed is, like, a lot less, like, dark than some of the other series. Like, I swear, like, the death of... Like, the death of the guy, the bald guy. No, he's not bald, he has hair. But, like, the boss who was, like, hiding in the closet. The death of that guy is honestly just kind of... It's like so like campy that it just becomes really funny. Like you immediately see the body, there's like a lightning strike and just Kiddo just kind of scampers off out of the office. You know, once I got this specific objective, like I got introduced to more of the world and just kind of started exploring around, doing side activities. I really should invest in some healing items. And ooh, look at that! I got some nice little things for healing effect while standing still. I don't really care for that, but yeah, I might as well just equip this. I mean, I don't really need it. This game's easy enough as it is, but I mean, as long as I have it, I mean, I might as well. Oh yeah, no, Saejima is like 20 years old in his little intro. Oh, there we go. Boom, we're getting introduced to the side content right away. I might as well just do this one real quick, but first I'm just going to take a short break. I'll be right back. Oh, I think that might also be a side quest. Boom, we just kind of get, the world opens up immediately in chapter 2 there. Very nice. But I'm going to be right back. I'll just, short break. Alright, back. But there we go. I forget what this chick's issue is, but it's gotta be, it's one of the first sub-stories in the game, so it has to be something. Oh, there's a really great sub-story that oh, let's talk to this guy first, though. Yeah, I forget what her deal is. I don't know what she does. Oh wait, it would be really weird if like this is the one where like she gets like 10 million yen and then she just uses it to like, you know, bathe in it. Oh, she just leaves? So yeah, no, we already have like 2 side quests happening at like Sky Finance. But you know, there's a really great side quest where it's just like Pimp My Otaku, that's just the name of it. Oh, what's going on here? These guys are excited. Oh, wait, was it just a random animation they do? Like that wasn't a side quest? They were just excited to be there? Wait, what? That's a really fun little animation to just randomly walk into. It's just that a lot of these, you don't expect these guys to just randomly pull shit like that. Why were they doing that? This is like the first time I ever saw that. Like, what? What? That was crazy. That was pretty wild. Oh, and Akiyama just did instant transmission there to strike a little funny pose before entering his office.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like a really cool little side quest here, cause like this guy just like, you kind of like ask him stuff which like he should be able to like do. You know, if he wants to be a president of a whole company and all that, like, you know, he should have like some pull, some charisma, like some ambition. So for him to not be able to like pull any of these things out, like the test like really lines up. I love this pose he does. Like every time he comes back, he just kind of stands there like dead-eyed. I wonder what's so hard about this one specifically. Oh wait, he looks even more depressed this time. Like before, he was just staring dead ahead. He's looking down this time. Also, like, one thing I do like about Yakuza 4 is that there are less sub-stories, because basically just... There's less sub-stories, but they tend to be more involved than the previous games. Because, like, I mean, the previous, like, games, like Yakuza 1, 2, and 3, they would have, like, a lot of them which are just really fluffy and they didn't have, like, much to them. While in this game, it's not like every single one of them is fantastic, but, like, they are more involved. Like, they're really getting there. Like, Yakuza 2 also had, like, some pretty, like, involved, like, funny ones, but, like, I think Yakuza 4, like, the lower amount of sub-stories allows them to, like, flesh out, like, each one more. You know, it's like, you get to go here, you get to go there. Yeah, no, I'm really hoping that modding Yakuza 1 and 2 becomes possible to, like, put a Roblox model in there, but from what I hear, it's, like, it's basically impossible. Because, like, the way the models are set up in, like, the original 2 games is, like, a fucking mess from what I hear. It's, like, there's so many, like, dispatch models, like, they're not, like, worded correctly. It's like it's kind of a nightmare. And also, if like the PS2 emulator can even like handle a Roblox model, is a whole other thing as well. Like, I don't know if this is like the PS3, but does this guy even have his eyes open at this point? He's just completely in despair. Yeah, no, also Akiyama, like, every time, like, a guy pulls up, like, you know, he doesn't say, hey, go become a hostess. He's like, hey, can you come, like, can you bring a hostess to the office? That's, like, one of the things he told him to do. Yeah, usually if it's, like, a dude, like, I guess the conditions get, like, a little bit more interesting, because you can't just send them to work in a club. Yeah, and, like, a lot of the little tests he gives this guy are, like, pretty straightforward. They have, like, a nice little comedic payoff. But yeah, no, Yakuza 4 is still like when the sub-stories didn't have like objective markers, so that you can't... You actually have to like pay attention to the directions, or like, you know, read the clues and like be really good at guessing what the clues want you to do. There's certain sub-stories that are kind of a huge pain in the ass to activate. Mostly with Saejima. Some of Saejima's stuff is just very fucking weird, like the conditions you have to like do. Shinjuku Street West. Okay, where is that? I think that's like all the way up here, which is right next to our objective. Okay, everything just kind of adds up. And ooh, also this Yakuza 4 thankfully adds a lot more taxis. Like, you're not just stuck to like the basic 3 taxis. You actually have like a couple more. That is a very good change. Ooh, and Naomi she's like a weird little like New Game Plus thing. I don't know if she shows up in Yakuza 3. I think she does. Like, the clown guys are always there, but yeah, no, she's also in this game, and you get to learn about her from that memo. Wee. Alright, so like last I remember, this guy just kind of hangs out in a park, and then he's about to get beat up because, you know, he fucked up the company. It's not that guy. It's not that guy either. Oh, okay, it must not be in this little park. It must be like in a building nearby. Not this one, because there's no one there. Maybe over here? Or maybe just a little bit more down the street. Maybe it's this one, because there's a lot of people ganging up on this one guy. Nope, I guess nothing to do with that guy. So it must be that guy over there. That might just be a completely random guy just like seeing the news and all that. Oh no, it is this guy. Like, the whole concept of, like, Akiyama's thing is the first sentence you said. He is supposed to be, like, he's supposed to do it to, like, judge their character. It's just that when it comes to, like, a lot of the women, like, some of the judges of character he does are, like, very, like, lopsided. Like, they're just kind of, like, out of left field. Or he just uses them to make them work in his club. Just to, like, make a profit himself. But, like, you know, his sub-stories when they're at their best is, like, really, like, fun judges of character. Just kind of, like, doing little things, like, really get to the essence of a person. It's just that he kind of has a lot of little shortcuts on how to do that every now and then. Like, yeah, go work in my club, go make me some money. Okay, I'm pretty sure, like, this guy is just working with Akiyama and just putting on a show just to, like, prove a point to this guy. Because it would be pretty silly if this guy is just genuinely actually angry about this whole thing. Because, like, you know, at that point, that's still your fault. You know, like, you can't... Oh, what the... That guy just did a backflip back into, like... Oh, this guy has, like, a whole moveset. What? This guy's got a crazy little move. He did a whole backflip. I mean, dude, how are you not getting work, dude? You're, like, a pretty trained fighter. He did, like, the Komaki cat flip. Like, what? This guy is crazy. these terms are kind of confusing the hell out of me because like I don't know, I think in Japan there is something called like a black company, but that's not a positive thing at all. Like I think the companies which are called like the black companies, they're called that because like their workers are like overworked, abused, and like their bosses are all assholes. Like I was seeing this one anime about this smiling like salesman or something. I forgot his name though. He's a really iconic guy. He has an old anime, but he also got like a new one recently, like somewhat recently. And like one of the episodes, like basically the salesman is just like this like mythical figure who just like grants the wish of like anyone who like comes across him, but he like grants it in a very monkey paw kind of way. And he also has like these certain conditions where it's like, yeah, this wish will come true, but only if you like follow all the rules I give you. And then like the guy ends up breaking the rule somehow, and when he breaks the rule, he pretty much just like curses them to live like a very ironic fate. And like pretty much like this one employee, you know, he gets like abused at this one company, so then like he comes across a salesman and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna set you to work at this one, you know, kind of like practice company just so you can kind of get into the swing of things. And then like at the practice company, he starts working there, and he like, you know, pretty much like in the practice company, like every day like the employees switch roles, so he gets to be the boss for one day. And like the way he sets things up is like, yeah, I really like this setup, you know, everything's organized, everything flows well. But then the next day he's just a basic employee, and the other guy who's boss, he doesn't like the way he like runs things, you know, is like, oh, that's not as efficient. And then throughout the entire process, the guy who got to work at that fake company, he becomes just as abusive as like his old boss. And then once that happens, like the salesman just kind of like the magical salesman just like curses him, and he's just pretty much forced to be like a kind of like an actor, a demonstrative actor who just acts very abusive and like just acts like a boss of a black company. He's just kind of forced to be like that. It's like a Greek curse. He's just forced to be like an actor for that for all of eternity. Some weird shit like that. Like Akiyama is like both intelligent and lucky because yeah, no, he's just like, oh, I got like a bunch of money from like when the tower exploded, and I just invested it in really smart ways, and I just became a billionaire. Like, okay. Memoirs of an Action Star. What does that give me? Ooh, oh, that is a nice chunk of experience right there. Yum, 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 yum. But since I'm right next to the story objective, I might as well just hop on that. Oh, I think it's called like the Laughing Salesman. Like it's that guy. Pretty sure it's the Laughing Salesman. The few episodes I saw, like the new anime, were pretty entertaining, but I also hear good things about the old anime. And not sure if it's like a manga series. It probably is like a pretty popular manga series. But yeah, no, it was fun. But that guy, just like Akiyama, also does not play fair. Like, there's just certain, like, times or, like, storylines where, like, the person who gets, like, their wish granted, like, meets every single condition, but then he just decides to fuck them over anyways. So, like, that, like, the Laughing Salesman's, like, morality, or, like, just, like, conditions are pretty fucking loose. Because he'll just fuck someone over anyways, just for, like, the lols. Yeah, no, it is a pretty funny, like, episodic concept. Yeah, here we go. Here's the little death scene.
一旦事務所に戻ることにしたんです。おい、誰かいないのか。
It does get pretty annoying though. Wait, spoilers for 4? Oh, I guess what you said is kind of spoilers for 4, but during these streams I am kind of playing them as someone who has pretty much played through the entire franchise like 2 to 3 times over each. So, like, I mean, I might just be spoiling games just in retrospect, like just talking about all the games which come after and before. Like, you know, he just sees the dead body, boom, lightning strike, whoa, and he just scampers the fuck out of the room. It's a really funny death scene. But yeah, no, like that little trope in fiction where, like, you know, they're facing like a killer or like a menace which can only attack them if, like, you know, if like they do something wrong morally, or if they break one of the rules. It gets really annoying when like a character breaks none of the rules but still gets sent to hell anyways. Oh, that actually happens in the movie Drag Me to Hell. I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar with the way it ends. I'm gonna spoil it right now. But basically, like, this lady gets cursed by this one woman who she just doesn't take care of very well, or like she's kind of mean to this woman who like wants some money. So then like the woman puts like a curse on her, which is gonna drag her to hell in 3 days. This movie's directed by Sam Raimi, by the way. I really do want to see it. It seems like a really fun horror movie. But then, like, you know, she breaks the curse, but then just gets sent to hell anyways, because, like, by random chance, like, one of the buttons, which is related to the curse, like, this guy just sends it to, like, just gives her one of the buttons by accident while she's on the train, and then boom, she just gets sent to hell immediately anyways. Like, she does everything right to break the curse, but then just, ironically, the guy just gives her one of the items she shouldn't have, and then boom, she gets dragged to hell, and it's like, what the fuck? You know? Oh. Because of the way he looked. I see, boom.
Akiyama san.
Yeah, doesn't like... Wait, Kiddo had a sister? Oh, wait, yeah, no. Saejima, like, pretty much, like, his final boss fight being Kiddo instead of the actual guy who ruined his sister's life. Yeah, that does add up. Just because, like, that guy, the guy with the big-ass forehead, that guy, like, you know, he's a pretty cool villain up until, like, the end of the game where he just becomes a complete jobber, and the way he goes out is very, like, is very lame, too. Like, you never fight that guy. He never becomes a boss fight. Like, yeah, that would be a cooler boss fight for Saejima. Like, a lot cooler. If that guy actually was able to, like, fight off Saejima, maybe. Like, he looked like a pretty buff guy. You know, that big-ass forehead's got a lot of power. And yeah, that guy hasn't shown up yet. Oh, wait, he's actually going to show up in the next chapter. Like, he's set up pretty well, but just the payoff. That's just a big thing with this game. The way everything pays off is very disappointing. But, like, the way everything builds up is fantastic. And the way the story just continues on and on and on. It's, like, really tight. Just really well done. Like, the structure of this story I like a lot better than Yakuza 4. I think it's more engaging. It's much more crime drama than, like, 3. But then it's just that payoff, man. The payoff just kind of, like, ruins everything. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Yeah, no, we're this far in the game and I still do not have the ground heat action, but I have something much better. I have a full combo. Just, man, this is such a great upgrade system. It's just, why did they not do this system until, like, Judgment again? Like, this is the perfect upgrade system. This works fantastically. Like, just not bringing this back into, like, the Judgment games is like, why would you do this? Like, you literally had the best upgrade system in the series and you just never did it again until, like, way later in this franchise. So silly. Anyways, boom. Suicide prevention. Let's go. That's gonna make a lot more sense once you reach like, Tanimura's section and do a little bit of the side content. Hey. No. Oh, sword? Even though I don't really want to use the sword, because like Akiyama's kicks are already so good. But you don't really want to do all that. Hey. I do not have any like reversal attacks when I'm on the ground yet, so every time I get knocked on the ground, did you see that fucking guy? He like he fucking slided across the map just to grab me. So yeah, that still happens on PS3, and I guess the 60 FPS made it more aggressive. Look at this fucking guy, dude. Yeah, no, this is the sort of shit which people get mad about for Yakuza 4, and well, I guess like rightly so. This guy is very fucking annoying. He needs to cut that shit out. Oh, this guy's also fucking dodgy. What a putrid enemy. What putrid enemies these guys are. Oh my god. Oh, these fucking guys. They're gonna kill me. Dude, they're gonna be the death of me. I got the one healing item to get out of that. Well, this game also has revelations. In fact, this one's got like one of the funnier ones in the series. It's just like a very deranged like Cowboy Bebop reference, which hey, I guess kind of makes sense when you got the voice actor of Spike Spiegel in the game, but it's a very deranged Cowboy Bebop reference. Parody, for sure. Saejima just kind of got like forced to be a character who just has to be a mentor to like these sort of like buff twinks. I don't know. That's just the impression like they give off. Even though like every character he fights is pretty buff. Though Baba in that little fucking grandma sweater he has, and in that little like turtleneck sweater he has, like yeah, he's pretty muscular, but he's very thin type of muscular, like very lean. While Kiddo is more of a beef, but like they're very like like they're just learning from like the old ass master dude, like Saejima, like, yeah, gold balls out here, Baba, like don't kill yourself, Baba. He just kind of gets wrapped up in those stories. They keep forcing him into that role. I mean, I was just complaining that I really did not like Lily as like one of the female characters in this game, but I really like Hana-chan. She's really fun. And it's such a shame that this is basically like this and Dead Souls are like the only game where she does anything. And even in Dead Souls, she barely does anything. Like in Dead Souls, she pretty much just gets sick, and Akiyama like pretty much gets her some medicine, and then she's out of the story once Akiyama's out of the story, and then she basically never does anything again. And also some of the plot developments in this game, like with Hana-chan, like don't really pay. It's all about payoff in this game. Just because I know how the way this game ends, a lot of this beginning stuff just has a bit of a bad aftertaste. Boom! Our introduction to the chase missions, and thankfully you don't have to hold down the right trigger to sprint anymore. They learned that, hey, Mario 64, in order to run, you just hold the stick down. You don't have to hold down a button. Praise the Lord. Super Mario 64 DS could not do that because there was no... And then like, okay, this mechanic, I never really understood it. Oh, I can do heat actions to like get these guys out of the way. A lot of really fun additions with like the chase missions in this game. Yeah, no, just the little like fucking turning... little like turn mechanic is like a little bit like janky to use. Like I guess it has its uses, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. I kind of like that Yakuza 5 doesn't have them. Like, does Yakuza 5 not have them? Like, I just want to run, you know? Like, it's like, ooh, it's fancy, ooh, it's fancy, ooh, it feels weird. I don't like it. But you know, there's like a later section of like Yakuza 4, like at the end of Akiyama's part, where like Hana-chan has like a whole big, like, I guess, you know, third act fallout with Akiyama because, you know, he's getting too friendly with Lily and she's like, oh, you're fucking around with me, and then she leaves. And she doesn't come back until the end of the game where she's like skinny and it's like, it's a whole little meme and it's like, It's just like kind of a wet fart to end the game on. So that's like one thing I don't really like about Hana-chan in this game, but that's more the way the story like treats her. But besides that, she's chill as hell. She's got like a great singing voice. Like her voice actress is like really talented. Like she has like one of the best karaoke songs in this game, and also her version of Pure Love and Kamurocho goes crazy. Like yeah, no. Like her actress is like really cracked.
Thank you. <sighs> どっちにしてもこれじゃまだ警察行きだな。
Like, I mean, like, the final chapter just being, like, 4 boss fights back-to-back is really fun. I do like that. It's just that, like, the story payoffs are, like, just really unsatisfying for a good majority of them. Well, I have 4 boss fights back-to-back, which are all, like, mostly really fun, except for that last one. Holy fuck, that one's terrible. Yeah, no, just pissing right next to bro, just as you do. Yeah, no, also, like, this game, like, you know, condenses stuff really well in the beginning here. Like, they didn't, like, spend the entire chapter showing that conversation where, like, Seguchi's, like, grilling them. They just, like, kind of, like, offhandedly mention, oh, yeah, that happened. Like, it's really well set up. He was just waiting in the bathroom the whole time. So yeah, no, I guess like we're gonna reach a certain point in this chapter where we're gonna have like a little, I guess, flash back, flash forward, flash whatever to something that's happening in the Tojo Clan. And if this is like the first game in the franchise you play, that whole Tojo Clan scene is gonna feel so weird and like out of place because you have no idea who any of these characters are. You have no idea what a Daigo is. So I believe the trainer is gonna pull up here to like pretty much save her from these two assholes. Or not, we're gonna step in. Oh no, I think we're gonna fight these guys, and then after we fight these guys, the trainer is gonna pull up. Oh, I really need that dodge cancel. That has to be like one of the upgrades I get like once I'm done with this section here. Do I have enough? Do I have any upgrades? Oh, I have 3 orbs. I do. Okay, good. Dodge cancel is a go. We need that ASAP. Double quick steps is also going to be a huge plus, but first, that dodge combo. We're going to need that. No, I guess dodge combo plus. Regardless of whether you're in heat mode. Okay, there we go. That will be useful because that heat mode is always going to be there. But maybe we should spend points on something else. We need this attack. We can't go the whole game not getting this. We need that. I mean, for Yakuza 4, there isn't that strong of a reason to like play the PS3 version specifically, but just more that, well, I still have to use the PS3 to play Dead Souls. So I mean, like, and also I own Yakuza 4 on the PS3, and it's kind of nostalgic because this is like the very first Yakuza game I played on, like, this is the very first Yakuza game I played in the franchise on this PS3 specifically. Like, this is the same PS3, this is the same digital copy of the game I own. Like, yeah, no, it's all very nostalgic to me. And, like, there is a couple differences, and combat does work better in this version. It's just that, like, the differences are not as drastic as Yakuza 3. But that 60 FPS for this game is really nice. Just the 60 FPS for the remasters is really nice. Just that for 3, combat did get like more punishing. And yeah, it did get slightly more punishing for this game too, but I think not as much. Alright, I think this game also introduces like the whole concept of throwing items and like enemies in chases, like just a lot of nice little setups. Oh, and jump during chase events? Why would I want to jump? I can just keep tackling this guy. And well, just like with Yakuza 3, I'm pretty sure the chases in the 4 remaster are probably more annoying. While in this game, they're probably like alright. Oh, I can just pick up the item again after I throw it? I do not remember that happening in Yakuza 5. I think Yakuza 5 like changed it that you couldn't pick it up again. However, one thing I will say is that the chases in Yakuza 5, I mean, I don't know if they're more annoying in the remaster or anything, but like, they ran so badly in the original version of the PS3 version. Like, yeah, it's kind of chuggy in this game too, but 5 was like absurd. It was like fucking 20 FPS. It was kind of disgusting to look at. But in the remasters of 5, that running at like 60 FPS is like godlike. It's like, oh my goodness, it runs so much better on the PS4 version. Yakuza 5's chases, they ran so bad. They were so bad. Like, I mean, they weren't like bad to play per se, but they ran so badly. Dash kick? Who's the worst character with fighting crowds in the whole franchise? Tatsuya. Tatsuya by far. The guy from the Kuruhyo games. Just because the way his combat system is built, he cannot handle crowds. But that's just more like the combat system of those games specifically. Because those games are very much like fighting 3 enemies feels like you're being overwhelmed and like, you know, struggling for dear life. Like, he's by far like the worst character to fight crowds with. Like, basically every single other character in this franchise is more equipped to fight like a crowd of enemies than like Tatsuya. He's very much only a one-on-one guy, and once like more people can start getting involved, like he starts losing it. Like, I can't think of a worse character for fighting crowds than like him. It's just the way he's designed. Sure, let's train a little bit. Why not? I do know that this guy's training can get very suicidal once he gets his like the suicide training. But yeah, no, for this stream, I do plan on keeping it to 3 hours. But since it's Yakuza 4, maybe I should do 4 hours, but like... Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, once we start getting to Yakuza 8, what, is every stream going to be 8 hours? The funny thing about Yakuza 8 is that I already was doing a walkthrough for that, but then I just kind of gave up and just started playing the game normally. I think this one is going to be pretty annoying, though. This little, like, running exercise. And, ooh, the worst part about his trainings is that, like, you need to bring a lot of healing items for some of them, because you really do need to, like, heal up for, like, a majority of his, like, stuff. Ooh, there's a locker coin key there. I gotta pick that up. He's just too damn fast. Oh, yeah, no, he's way too fast, this guy. You actually have to, like, take advantage of, like, stuff like that in order to catch up with him. It's just, I don't know the best times to do it. I guess, like, yeah, that was a good time. Boom, actually hit him. Oh, didn't hit him that time, though. Okay, I seem to have a, oh, wait, no, see, like, doing a quick step at that time would have been iffy. And see, there I fucked it up. That's what annoys me about it. Ooh, and he's getting really far away now. Ooh, and this guy's not rubber banding at all. He actually, like, wants to, like, run away from me. I think one of the more annoying aspects of the chases in, like, Yakuza 5 is that they use your health bar as the stamina bar instead of having, like, its own dedicated stamina bar. So when you were, like, if you failed one of the running missions in Yakuza 5, boom, your health's gone. Ooh, I hate that little section right there. And just like that little throwing item is just very inconveniently placed. You have to kind of go out of your way to pick it up. Oh, I almost got him. Hey, what the fuck? Dude, I jumped before you did. Come on, man. I wonder if there's, like, any point to hitting him. Well, like, okay, I think this game doesn't have, like, the unique weapon attacks where you hit him with, like, light attack and you do, like, a unique bottle attack. I think it's only good for throwing. And also, oh, you also have to, like, throw it very specifically, or it's not gonna get him. That's another annoying thing about it. Got him. Got his ass. Got his ass. Did not get his ass that time. And this is not even as bad as it gets. It gets worse. Like, ooh! Oh, I had him. I had him. Yeah, these are just very frustrating. And they're, like, decently involved, too. Because, like, the annoying ones about Judgment is that there's, like, no gameplay to them. These ones, like, you actually have to kind of be in it and, like, you know, involved in, like, doing all this. But it's so, like, disjointed from, like, the rest of the gameplay in this, like, game. Just a little, like, gimmicky section there. Carried over from, like, Yakuza 3. And, like, just added on. Ooh, double dash kick? Okay. Yeah, it may not be smart to do the rest of his training when I don't have any healing items. Now we have suicidal running. But there's, like, really useful stuff you learn from this guy. Like, the shooting. This was the one that worries me. Like, I think I'll do the normal trainings and then, like, I'll go get a bunch of healing items to do, like, the suicidal ones. Oh shit, no, I'm gonna need healing for this section in particular. Ew. No, it's over. It's never been more over than now. It's never been more over than now. Oh, this is gonna suck. Wait, kick who? Like Saigo? Or do you mean like kick someone in chat? Because if something happened in chat that was like kick worthy, I think YouTube might have just automatically removed them because I don't see any like offensive comments down there. Yeah, and I feel like this one experience has dissuaded me from doing more of Saigo's training. I'm just gonna like wait until later in the game and then do more training. And ooh, I missed a locker coin key up there though. Let me get this coin locker here though. But what I really need is some healing items. Saigo, I can't kick him. I mean, like he just gave me like just kick him like while out in the world. I can't really do that. The game doesn't allow you to do like combat moves at that point. Or do you mean when I start fighting him, like, you know, because there's like one test where you just fight him. Okay, nearest healing shop. I mean, I guess there's like a little ice cream and like restaurant over there. I could buy some ice creams. Just, I don't have that much money. That's the one thing. I do not have that much money. Oh wait, are you allowed to do like kicks and stuff like during the chase missions? Because I don't really take advantage of that. I don't remember really doing any of that. I guess like during like his boss fight, maybe we could like kick him. Oh wait, the only thing we can do is kick him. That's like his main moveset. I thought you meant just like do like heavy attacks. Oh, we can get some to-go stuff here. Yeah, let's do that. But first, let's just eat some food. And I think this is like the first game where you're actually like allowed to like buy, like just order multiple food items. Because I think in Yakuza 3 you weren't allowed to do that. Yeah, no, Yakuza 4 just adds a lot of really convenient stuff. It's fun to see. But yeah, here we go. Boom. Oh wait, it's only one item you can take to go? That's a little silly. Because I thought if there was like a to-go item, you could get multiple things, but whatever. I have a to-go there. So it's just a couple early game healing items. So now I have to return to the office, and if I'm returning to the office, there has to be a side quest there. Because like that lady wants to show up to our office, so I think I'll do that side quest. Just kind of follow that to like a certain, a decent end. And what are you looking at? Oh, I guess it's like a story thing, maybe. Yep, just a little bit of lore dump. Oh, I can just enter this bar with like no bill. Oh, and I just activated this event, even though I did not go behind here. I just went to the bar nearby. Okay. That was like a weird little trigger. Okay, so this is where we're gonna hit the big Tojo Clan scene. So yeah, like this out of context, like this being the first game in the franchise I played, this was like pretty confusing because it's just like I don't know any of these characters, and the way this plays out, it's like pretty funny too. Because like this whole thing where like, oh, I'm gonna give you my pinky to, you know, solve all this, and then like the guy's like, oh yes, that's pretty cool, but I don't want your pinky though. It's pretty dumb. I want more. Like the way they try to pay this guy off.
この金は一体何ですか、東島会長。
Look at his big ass forehead.
桂木さん、登場会としては今回の騒動、これ以上大ごとにはしたくない。それに登場会と上野清和会は二代目時代から25年来の親戚関係がある。ここはお互いことを荒立てないのが得策かと。
なるほど。堂島会長は枝同士の喧嘩にはこのくらいの金があれば十分だと。
いや、そんなつもりはありません。確かに騒動を起こした金村工業は直系柴田組傘下の枝組織かもしれませんが、上野清和会は違う。登場会と同格の親戚です。その金はあくまで今回の騒動。
Yep, timeline wise, I'm pretty sure this happens like right after the big shooting.
その額ではご不満ですか。わかりました。入れ。
Yep, this is the PS3 version of the game.
桂木さん、今回の金村の一件、本当に申し訳ありませんでした。
柴田さんでしたっけ？
I mean, like, even if you've played the previous games, this scene can still feel like a little out of nowhere, just because, like, besides Daigo, every single one of these new characters, every single one of these characters is brand new. Yeah, no, just like, but the way this just plays out is just really ironic. Like, this guy sends like his little pinky off and then gives a big bow, and then this guy is just like, yeah, you didn't need to do all that. I don't want that. He's like the biggest kick in the nuts. This guy is such a fun bad guy up until the very end, where he just becomes like a big jobber. Like pretty much like once Kiryu's chapter like kicks in, this guy just starts sucking.
上野清和会としては今までの親戚関係もある以上構想沙汰にするつもりは毛頭ありません。病床に伏しているうちの総長上野義治も思いは同じです。
桂木さん、
だがこの金と指で全てがチャラというわけにもいかないでしょう。少なくともうちの組員たちは納得しないと思いますよ。堂島会長、今回の騒動で殺された伊原の役職をご存知ですか？
Yeah, no, this guy's gonna glaze the shit out of this member.
若頭補佐です。ちょうどあの事件のあった日に就任していたんですよ。
若頭補佐？
そうです。あなた方がチンピラ同士の喧嘩くらいに思っていたこの騒動、実は上野清和としては幹部組員を失うというとんでもない被害を受けているんですよ。正直言いましょう。若頭補佐を殺された代償としてあの金と指一本では釣り合いません。
いや、 だがそれは
おっしゃりたいことはわかります。先ほどは同格だと言ったものの、所詮は登場界と上の清和会では格が違うだろうと。でもね、うちの組員はそれじゃ納得しないんですよ。表面上登場界とうちは対等な関係のはずですからね。
桂木さん、どうすれば納得してもらえるんですか？
そうですね、うちの井原を殺した犯人新井宏明の首、それが無理ならあの真島さんが今やっている例の事業の経営権をいただきたい。
Bro just really said, yeah, I want Majima's business.
カムロ町ヒルズの経営権が欲しいと。
はい。
そんな要求は飲めない。飲めるわけがない。
なぜですか？
あの事業は10億20億とかいう規模の話じゃない。数千億規模の案件だ。いくら幹部組員が殺されたとはいえ、人一人の命の代償としては大きすぎる。
堂島会長、勘違いしないでください。上野清和会は金が欲しいわけじゃありません。これは極道としてのメンツの問題なんですよ。堂島会長、あなたは
This guy is so full of shit.
聞いてます。だからこそ私の立場も理解してもらえませんでしょうか。さっきも言いましたが、うちとしてはあの新井という男の首があれば十分です。それがあれば下の連中も納得するでしょう。だが万が一新井の首が取れなかった場合、
Yeah, and isn't like Arai already working with this guy from the get-go?
井原と同格の人間を差し出してもらうしかないんですよ。
それは
そう、真島さんです。柏木さんの死後、白鵬会や錦山組といった若頭補佐はなくなってしまった。あの浜崎組も破門となると、自動的に真島さんくらいしか井原の代償となりうる人がいないんですよ。だがさすがに私も井原の代わりに真島さんの首を差し出せと。
I think this yapping section is like a little bit dry compared to like the previous
です
ones.
からあのビルの建設と経営の権利さえいただければ、それでうちの組員を。
And also compared to like some of the other, like, is that every game, like nearly every game has like a little scuffle in the Tojo Clan? You know, like the first one has a really famous one where Nishiki's like, all 10 billion yen was stolen. Is this true? You got the second game where they're like yapping about money, and then like Daigo's mom pulls out a sword and just like kind of like, you know, just like breaks everyone's balls, like yeah, fuck off, like shut up. And then the third game's got the one where like the organization like is completely like fucked around. But yeah, this guy's just kind of like digging like Daigo around. Like that's pretty fun to see. Like Daigo's just in a really bad situation because this guy keeps like digging him around. You know, he's got a very creepy design, just that big ass forehead, and like just he's got a very villainous expression. Yeah, and there's like Seguichi. I forgot how to say his name. Seguichi. Yeah, no, but like that guy, I think he has a pretty nice payoff compared to everyone else. It does happen pretty quick, but like I think the game does build up to it pretty nicely, like the big reveal. And also it being like Tanimura's only boss fight definitely makes him memorable. Now Sueguchi. Seguichi. Ah! Because I used to be able to say his name, but now I just can't. Seguichi. Seguichi. And now this is kind of like the section where you run way faster than Lily. So she's going to be like, yo, hold up, wait up, wait up, wait up. But she's always going to say it like she's on a melatonin. Melatonin. She does not run fast at all. She's just blending into the crowd at this point. Hey, what's up, man? Let's talk. And also, I love this little underground mall area because like this structure has always existed in like Yakuza 3 and all that. But now you can actually go into the place, and there's like a whole little underground mall and stuff. It's got great vibes. Like, I'm sure it's something very much of like the era of like 2009, 2010. Are there really that many underground malls like these days? In Japan? I don't know much about Japan, but do these little areas still exist? It's just such a very memorable area. I'm just very sad that it just doesn't exist in like the Dragon Engine titles. Because they brought this place back in Yakuza 5, just it doesn't have as much presence in Yakuza 5 because, well... Wait, why would I want this pamphlet? Is this just marketing? Is it just like a brand they have in here? I'm good. I'm good. Oh wait, are the locker coins specifically down here? Are they not upstairs? Or are there like differences between the underground lockers and like the lockers up like above ground? Is there actually a difference between them? That's gonna be really funny. It just makes all the locker situation more complicated. Oh, there is a difference between them. So we just have more collectibles because, well, there's only one city in this game in comparison to like the two of like Yakuza 2 and Yakuza 3. So I guess to like add more keys. Boom! To add more keys, we just have this brand new locker here, just to like make things more confusing. There's not that many choices, is there? I mean, this isn't like Yakuza 0 where you can like really get crazy with it. It's like literally, do I want the more pale red suit or the red suit? Like, this red suit's more bright. I want the red suit. Ooh, my left ear is ringing a bit. That can't be a good sign. So I guess now I need to go above ground. No, wait, did I just see a locker coin key around here? Oh, yep, all the way down here. And boom, we have our first underground mall key. So I can go back over there and get that. So, for Yakuza 5, honestly, I don't plan on doing it. I actually planned on just continuing my, like, road to 100%, like, walkthrough series. And, ew, okay. Yeah, I got an item from it, but I don't like the item. Because I already, like, started a walkthrough of Yakuza 5, and that walkthrough was specifically to, like, 100% the game. So I think I'll just pick that up where I left it off. I was like on Akiyama section, like last time I was there. But like that walkthrough is gonna take forever, and ooh, that's gonna be a useful item. That's a useful piece of equipment. So there we go, I'll just equip that. Very nice. Ooh, is there another item here? Like, just randomly out of the blue. I saw a prompt show up. Or was it just to talk to Lily? Oh, I can't even do that. Okay. What is the most replayable of all the Yakuza games? I mean, the one I've replayed the most is the original Yakuza 2. I really like it. But I guess some other contenders, the original Yakuza 1, just get, like, it's a very brief game, you know, you just get from point A to point B, and you can beat it very quickly, so, like, and it wastes very little time. Because Kiwami 1, it just adds a bunch of fluff, which makes it a little less replayable, but you could still probably replay Kiwami 1 a good amount of times. But 2, I just like better, but when it comes to replaying 2, I guess, like, one handicap is that there's a lot of sections of the original Yakuza 2, and Kiwami 2 kind of brings it back in a similar fashion where the game just kind of tells you, okay, just stand around and wait for something to happen. And then the conditions to like actually activate the story objective was always like something weird, like, you know, go do a couple side quests or go to this specific part of the map, you know, so on and so forth. The Yakuza 3, I think, is like decently replayable, though I don't tend to replay it too much. The orphanage sections get like a little annoying on replays. But it's still a decently replayable game, like it's not too long. I mean, Yakuza 4 could be pretty replayable. I mean, it's a decently short game, though I guess it's kind of longer than 3 and 2, just because of the 4 protagonists. But like, I mean, each story it's pretty brief. I mean, I'm kind of blazing through like Akiyama's section here. I know that chapter 3 and 4 are some of the longer sections of Akiyama's parts, while chapters like 1 and 2 are a bit shorter, but like every character just kind of follows that template. The chain necklace, yeah, let's give her the chain. Like every single one of like the protagonist chapters has like that one chapter that's like really short. Like Saejima, we have the prison break, then we have the fight against Kiryu, and then like the rest of his chapters are a little bit more in depth, but like those beginning chapters, they're pretty rushed. And then Tanimura has like one chapter that's like just one cutscene. You go to an area, you watch a cutscene, and that's it. As for Kiryu, I don't know which chapters of his could be considered the rushed ones. I think, isn't chapter 1 just in Okinawa? It's just like one level, and that's it. I've actually never done the Coliseum in Yakuza 5 in all my replays of it. I've also replayed Yakuza 5 a good amount, even though replayability for that game maybe isn't that high. I just replay it because it's one of my favorites. It's replayable to me, but the one issue with Yakuza 5 is that it's Saejima's section. Wait, what's this? Wait, actually a good time to play Mahjong is just in Tanimura's section. Because Tanimura actually really likes playing Mahjong. However, actually seriously playing it, I'm going to lose a lot of money. But, you know, if I'm going to play Mahjong, I might as well do it once I reach, like, Tanimura's section. I mean, I think the Dragon Engine titles may be some of the more replayable ones in the series, just because you're allowed to skip every single cutscene. You can just, like, tap a button to skip everything. While in some of these older games, you're kind of forced to, like, you know, watch and, like, go through some of these text boxes. Oh, and that was a random enemy. I was not expecting to actually fight this guy. Oh, but when I said replayable, I was not counting Judgment. Judgment, I think, is not that replayable of a game. Just because, like, you waste so much time with the tailing missions and all that it gets pretty tedious. Yeah, like, you see, like, in Yakuza 4, you can't do this. Like, when you do that attack, it does not hit the enemy when they're on the ground. But in Yakuza 5, it actually does, and I think that's good. It's just that, like, a lot of Akiyama's, like, other tech just is not in 5. You can't do, like, the bounding infinite combos anymore. Wait, where's the other enemy? Okay, Yakuza 5, also another thing which Yakuza 5 adds is that it brings more focus to like enemy emotions throughout the fight. Like enemies will run away. There's certain enemies that like, you know, once they're afraid and you do like a stomp attack on them, they'll just like instantly kill them. That's really fun in 5. I mean, Lost Judgment, I don't know, I haven't replayed Lost Judgment too many times, but it is definitely like less tedious than going through Judgment, because like Judgment 1 just has so many sections where like the pace just fucking like slows down to an absolute crawl. And I do not remember that happening in Lost Judgment that much. And well, Gaiden is like probably like one of the shortest games in the franchise. That's like decently replayable if you don't care about upgrades at all. And oh, wait, what about the side quest at the office? I wanted to do that. 7 is one of like, oh, this is a side quest. I think it's actually the Pimp My Otaku side quest. Just ran into this one. Yeah, the turn-based entries do tend to have like some pretty... They're not the most replayable just because like 7 is... Like the story in that game is one of the longer ones in the series, especially with Chapter 1. Like watching every single cutscene is like 3 to 4 hours. It's like huge setup. I'm not sure if there's like any sections in 7 which like slow down to a big crawl per se, but like I know 8 has some pretty like disjointed sections. Especially the introduction of side content in like 8 can get a bit annoying for like replays and all that. Do I do the story objective or do I try to do like a side mission? Choices. I think I'm just gonna do the story objective, and yeah. Pretty much as part of like Akiyama's main story, you're introduced to like this really boring club management like side story minigame thing. Which thankfully in Yakuza 4 you don't have to do any of this to fight Amon. But it is just kind of like introduced. So you have to do this, you have to do this. Just like a bunch of micromanaging, like time-wasting nonsense. I don't fuck with it. I don't like it. And I'm pretty sure you don't really have to succeed at it in order to actually like continue the story. Like she'll just be number 1 no matter what you do. And you can't skip it either, it seems. Oh, you can return to the title screen. You can quit the game. I like this. I like this little music though. Fun.
Akiyama-san, 私。
いいね。やっぱり俺の目に狂いはなかったか。いや、なんでもない。さあ、今からテスト2を始めようか。
But yeah, no, my most replayed game in this series is the original Yakuza 2, so that's probably the most replayable one to me. Just because like the game's combat, you just play it, you pick it up, and it's already fun. Because it's like already so fast. Like the early game combat system for Yakuza 2 is just immediately super fun. Like, I have no idea. I mean, she ends up passing this test, but I'm just saying that, yo, she doesn't have that much charisma. I guess she like plays it off, like she plays up her charisma off screen when we don't see her because she's a pretty boring person to talk to.
本当に1億貸してもらえるんですね。
はい。
わかりました。やってみます。
それではビジネスの話はここまでにしましょう。ここからは俺のプライベートとして楽しませてもらいます。
Yeah, just Akiyama's charisma with Lily just doesn't work. Because, you know, it just feels like he's being too pushy and she's just not with it. She's like, oh, okay. Like Akiyama, I mean, like, yeah, his voice actor is very charismatic. He's a very charismatic character, but he's like just playing off of a brick wall.
さあ、それじゃあ今日は楽しませてもらえますか。
わかりました。
Honestly, like maybe Yakuza 8 might be replayable besides its pacing issues, just because it's a really fun game to play. Like the gameplay of 7 just feels really hard to go back to after playing 8, because 8 is actually just so much fun. Also, not sure if this is correct, but I'm pretty sure like Lily is probably the tallest woman in the Yakuza series. But like I don't know who her competition is. Like, who else is she competing against? She like pretty much like got granted the Saejima genes, and like the not the Saejima genes as in the pair of clothes, but like genetics, like the Saejima genetics. So like Saejima is a fucking huge monster of a person. So I guess like Yasuko got some of that. But like, who even competes? Like, what is this competition? Oh, level up. There we go. That's always fun. And well, she's always wearing heels as well, so like. I really like the color of these lockers. Just like, I mean, I don't know if this is like advertising some brand, but like, it makes it really different from the previous games, where it was just kind of like a solid color. Just like boom, just boom. Yakuza 4 just has so much little personality in the city. I love it. And also this weird fucking area. I mean, another thing is that Yakuza 4's map is also pretty confusing to explore, which I know some people get like frustrated by that, but that's like another thing I like about the game. Yeah, see, this is the sort of thing I really need. However, I need to get other things first, like the quick step attack. Boom! Now my dodge canceling actually has a point. I can do the infinites now. But I'm also going to need the double quick steps. I think I don't spend an upgrade point now. I want my rising kick. No. I want my rising kick. I really need it. And also, Akiyama has like a bunch of different taunts you can like unlock, but you're going to have to spend points on that. So yeah, let's get that rising kick. It's just very annoying when I get knocked down to the ground. I can't do this. Oh! Oh yeah, no, if you haven't played the Judgment games, do hop on them. Like, I am being a little bit harsh with the first game, because just, I think its pacing is, like, pretty fucked. But, like, Judgment 1's great. It's a pretty dope Yakuza game. I think it's pretty flawed, but, like, it has some like, it has probably one of the best stories in the franchise. And the combat system was a huge step up from, like, Yakuza 6 and Kiwami 2. So definitely do jump on that. Oh yeah, Chitose Buster Holmes. Yeah, I guess she takes it. She takes the cake. Side quest or main story? I'm probably going to end the stream in about 8 minutes or so, so I think I'll just continue main story, and whatever side quest I was doing before, I'll just do it in the next stream. Not sure if I'm going to stream tomorrow. Honestly, I may or may not hit the beach tomorrow. I'm going to experience Yakuza 3 again tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. It'll probably be a good time to save right now before anything happens with this upcoming like little story sequence. I will say, like, I mean, I don't know, like, the characters in Yakuza 4 feel kind of slower to traverse the world with, like, than Kiryu felt in Yakuza 3. Because Kiryu in Yakuza 3 had a very speedy little run to him. I mean, like, Akiyama doesn't feel bad or anything. It's just, like, it feels like his walk is slower. I don't know if it's, like, his animation or, like, if it's actually his speed. But, like, Yakuza 3 Kiryu just he kind of sped around very quickly. But anyways, what I'm trying to do right now is, can I reach the Champion District without using the minimap? Like, I should really do this with Yakuza 4, except you should not do this on the rooftops, because, like I was saying before, Yakuza 4, like, for some of its extra areas, gets really confusing to navigate. Like, especially on a first-time playthrough, like, for the rooftops, you're just going to end up going the wrong path, and it's like, oh, oopsie daisy, you actually have to go down a completely different path to get to your objective. It's like, oh, okay. Especially with all the different, like, entrances and, like, exits out of the rooftop place, it gets very, like, hectic very fast. I don't know if hectic is the right word, but, like, it's a bit of a mess to explore, especially, like, Little Asia, because it's such a tight little space. And, like, the camera the camera's not the best in Little Asia, but Little Asia is, like, probably one of, like, my favorite additions in Yakuza 4 too. Not Yakuza 4 2, but, like, Yakuza 4 as well, like, the addition as well. I'm happy to see that addition in Yakuza 4 2. But, no. Because, you pretty much play as Akiyama, you play as Saejima, and you can't enter the area, and then finally you actually get to visit the area as Tanimura. I think that's very cool. And just placing it, like, in the middle of the map, because you can't really penetrate the middle of the map because Millennium Tower takes up so much of that map. Wait, it's not even in the middle of the map. It's like it's at the upper middle of the map, no? Wait, the Saejima section we have to, like, navigate the underground and the rooftop. I like that section though. I don't know. Again, it gets confusing really fast, but it's kind of fun to figure it out. You know, like, do I go here? Do I go there? Like, you actually have to, like, explore the map a bit. I thought that was neat. Though Saejima always being, like, hunted down by cops is a bit of an annoying trope in Yakuza 4 and 5. I mean, Lily's just kind of dropping one of the major themes of Yakuza 4. Which, for the most part, the game handles really well, but then it just kind of blows up at the end, which the end is still kind of covering that theme. Basically, just, like, ambition is a huge part of this game. Like, basically, every single villain gets screwed over because, like, their ambition just overshadows them immediately. Every villain just gets squandered by ambition. And there's, like, this big dramatic little kiss scene, which I don't think it really, like, pays off, just because, like, I don't like this romantic pair as much. And, like, the music, like, swells and all that. It's all big. I do like how this moment gets interrupted later on, though. And also, there was a really funny video where someone was, like, fucking around with the models in this game, and they just started replacing every single model with, like, someone else. So you got, like, Kiryu and, like, Majima, like, smacking it out, like, Saejima and, like, fucking Kiddo doing it, like... And, like, the models get all fucked up because, like, their proportions don't match the animations. Like, their eyeballs, especially.
なんとなくあなたならいいかなって思っちゃった。あなたはどうしてキスしたの？
You look like my ex-wife.
5年ぶりでこんな気持ちになったのは。
別れた恋人の話？
ああ。でも振られちゃった。
Wait, not sure if it was his wife or his girlfriend, but, like, it was, like, his partner, yeah.
あの頃俺にお金がなかったからかな。おう
It's such a goofy ass noise. We got this guy wearing his dark Kiwami clothes.
また柴田組か。あんたらも懲りないね。あ？ 口聞いてんじゃねえぞ。柴田のこと分かってて喧嘩売ろってのか。
そうだ。
柴田組のことならよく知ってますよ。東上会の直系って肩書き振りかざしながらも、二次団体の中じゃ常に末席に位置する万年窓際族だ。なんだとこのガキが。予定にはなかったが構わねえ。ぶっ殺してやる。
This guy's got the sword. Ooh. Oh, that guy's got the gun. Finally have access to this heat action, and no, I don't unlock the next move until I do it like 40 more times. Oh yeah, Yakuza 4 is also the one which introduced heat actions, which you have to like repeat like a bajillion times in order to like unlock all of them. Oh, okay, the dash kick is actually something you learn. Like, I mean, before I was just doing that kick, but I wasn't doing the dash kick. And I remember that the dash kick had like certain properties you could take advantage of. I guess you could like juggle people with it in Yakuza 5 maybe. Not sure if it had any use in this game besides just running up to people and doing like... I'm just gonna grab this bench and hit you with it. How about that? Oh, we have a gun. We can just use the gun. My goodness. But I gotta pick it up first before I can do anything. Wait, I have dodge cancels right now. Ah. Yeah, Akiyama just gets like ganged up on very quickly. Like, I do not remember like Kiryu getting ganged up on this quickly, just because Kiryu's just stronger. Wait, I could have sworn I could do dodge cancel. What's going on here? Oh, I guess I have to like input it better. Oh, 3 hours have already passed, so I'm just going to try to get to a save point. I'll save, and then I'll be ending the stream there, but... Yep, no, we're pretty much 3 hours. We got to chapter 3 of, like, Akiyama section here. I guess things add up decently well. Oh, wow, okay, well, we already did 3 chapters in 3 hours, okay. Yeah, no, the chapters just fly by in this game. But then again, you probably would spend more time in chapter 3 if you did, like, do some more of the side content, which does pop up in that chapter, with the side quests and all that. But yeah, right now I'm just going to wait for the cutscenes of the next section to pretty much end. I'm going to reach a save point there, and then I'll be ending the stream right there. And I guess next stream I will be... I mean, like, Zero and Kiwami 1 are, like, much more graphically intensive games than, like, Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. Like, graphical performance issues, like, nothing too heavy, but, like, every now and then, like, 3 would slow down slightly. Same thing with 4. I mean, it's happened in this stream a couple times. 5 is more egregious with that stuff than 3 and 4, especially with the chases. The chases in 5 run like shit. Like, it's absurd. The game slows down so much with those chases. And just 5 is also more graphically intensive and just much more ambitious with what it does, so that game is more prone to slowing down than 3 and 4. So I think chapter 4 is going to be the one chapter that's a lot longer than like the other ones. It's kind of like it's the final chapter for Akiyama. And yeah, no, he's going to get like 2 boss fights, and one of them is going to suck ass. That chainsaw guy fucking sucks. And he doesn't even start off as a chainsaw guy. He starts off as a gun guy. And he has like this one attack in the beginning that's just super painful to avoid for no damage. It's just, I hate him. Because like Yakuza 0 also has like frame rate drops on like PS4. Same thing with Kiwami 1. but it only happens when you're like exploring the world, not really during combat sections, but I'm pretty sure like the frame rate can drop when you fight like Kuze for the 4th time in Zero. Because like that area has like a lot of glass thrown around the place, so like the performance kind of chugs a little. I mean, like, does RGG really have, like, the resources to, like, use the PS3 to its fullest potential, though? Because, like, I mean, a lot of these games are yearly releases, you know, like, Yakuza 3, then, like, immediately the year after. I mean, didn't Kenzen come out, like, 2008? Yakuza 3 came out in 2009, and then, like, Yakuza 4 came out in 2010? Didn't it work like that? And then Yakuza 5 got more of a... Yakuza 5, they had more time to work on that one, but still, like... They don't have as many resources for like the other games, and also like they're big open world games. They're not like too linear, so I'm pretty sure like the more linear games like have more time to like really hunker down and like, you know, refine the graphics. Like, what would you consider like RGG like using the PS3 to its fullest potential exactly? Like, what were you expecting with that? Yeah, and also the PS3 just kind of like, it's kind of a mess of a little system. I don't fully comprehend why. Like, I don't fully comprehend why the PS3's like architecture is so complicated, but there's just a lot of games which like have really weird setups. Metal Gear Solid 4 is a really weird game. Because, like, you know, for the most part, the game's, like, frame rate is always chugging because it's so graphically ambitious. And then every time you climb, like, a stairs in that game, the game's frame rate just suddenly jumps up to, like, 45 FPS. Just, like, the way the game is, like, just built. That's just, like, what ends up happening with that. It's very, very strange. But, yeah, no, like, Metal Gear Solid 4 is a really fantastic looking game. Like, it definitely looks better than Metal Gear Rising, which runs on the same system on the PS3. But Metal Gear Rising making its game like look more ugly, I think, was the better choice than like than making it look really pretty like Metal Gear Solid 4. Because like I highly prefer like 60 FPS for like a hack and slash game over like pretty graphics. But then again, now that we kind of live in like the modern era, like, you know, just looking back on it, Metal Gear Rising for the most part is a pretty graphically dull game. It has a few neat areas though, like the one little Japanese-inspired area with like the house and like the candy-ass trees. Is one of the nicer looking areas, but like for the most part, it's just fucking like gray buildings and gray areas and gray fields, and it just. But it is impressive that like the game actually ran at 60 FPS on release instead of like it being 60 FPS like a remaster. Because DMC Devil May Cry is a nicer looking game, but like on its original console. It ran at 30 FPS instead of 60, which is very disappointing. But then again, Devil May Cry 4 was 60 FPS on release, and it did look really nice. But then again, that like Capcom engine, like MT Framework, is kind of like a fucking beast of its own. Like it just runs so smooth and looks so nice. Like Capcom was kind of like working with magic there. Oh yeah, I honestly I vaguely remember that. Yeah, the game did run kind of better when you had the night vision on. That's a weird little like gimmick there. That's a famous image because it shows up in Yakuza 5 when like Akiyama has like his Baka Mitai moment. They just have this little like. That fucking suit is so silly on him. Yeah, Arai just does not pay off that satisfyingly in this game. He's pretty bland for the most part.
この街を変えてみせますって。
兄貴、
俺はその時誓ったんだ。もし俺がこの100万円でのし上がれた時はこの人にかけてみようって。
かける？
ああ、この人ならカムロ町って猿山のボスになれるかもしれないって思ったんだ。
Well, yeah, no, Yakuza 4 just has a bunch of weird styled cutscenes.
カムロ町ってのは
You have like the really well animated ones with like all the mocap and the facial expressions and all that. And then you have like the text boxes one with like zero voice acting and all that. And then you have like the ones where it's just characters like flapping their mouths with like more limited animation, but like it kind of tries to trick you into thinking that it's one of these more like well animated cutscenes, but it's just characters flapping their lips without moving much else. Yep, that purple guy is Arai. Just back when he had like no drip, because like his current suit's really cool. Like just like the dark blues, they work really nicely. Just a goofy ass purple suit. And this is like the first time they ever mention like Kiryu Kazuma.
そして人は夢を諦めない。生きていくのに必要なもんだからさ。わかるか？
はい。
みんな夢を見続けていたい。だからこそこの街では人に夢を見せられる人間が求められているんだ。
それが新井の兄貴だと。
ああ。良くも悪くも人間ってのは強さに憧れる。新井さんにはその絶対的な強さがある。俺はそう思ってんだ。
Okay, but like, yeah, like 4 is kind of like, you know, when it was still like kind of in its inception, so it's like a little bit more awkward. But 6, like it was really pushing the bar for like those kind of like fake cutscenes where the people are just flapping their mouths. Like it looks a lot better than they've ever looked in the previous games. Like there's a lot of like, you know, kind of mid cutscenes. I don't know how to describe them. You know, because Yakuza 6, you know, just kind of has cutscenes which are more well animated, and then there's like cutscenes which are just more characters flapping their mouths, but like the details just way more involved, and also just the framing. So they can almost fool you into thinking that they're just actual like fully animated cutscenes. Judgment got really good with that. Like there's a lot of like, you know, just in between cutscenes that look really good in Judgment, just like the way they frame it, just ooh, it's really nice.
おう、何か分かったら俺に連絡してくれ。
はい。
ただいま。あ、木戸さん。
あ、どうもっす。
But you know, Yakuza 4's story just wastes no time. It just gets going immediately. Just boom, 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 boom. Just info, boom, boom, boom. Like there's not really too much time wasted. Yakuza 3 by this point, we're dealing with the orphans and all that, which has its own charm. Maybe I think some people who play 4 after 3 probably missed that because it's like, oh, we're just rushing way too quick. Oh, okay, so once we go to that club, it's going to kick off the whole femme fatale thing with Lily. We're going to get some like info dumps there, and also we're going to get a bit of an unfortunate little translation thing there, which I guess we'll talk about next stream because I'm going to go save the game right now. I was going to save the game in the office, but the game just kicked me out of the office, so what am I going to do? Yeah, no, Hana-chan's not going to like this, but I'm going to go pop by a save point. Ooh, email? Oh yeah, when do the revelations get introduced? Ooh, this is a fun little side quest you can do. Now, what is the closest save point? My objective is there. So the closest save point is just, boom, let's just go to the coin locker keys. Also, let's just check out if anything worthwhile shows up there. Can I upgrade something right now? No, I can't. I've wasted all my upgrades on other things. But I mean, like, I don't think it's that easy to, like, fully upgrade yourself in Yakuza 4. Because, again, you get a bunch of early game upgrades and you can quickly get a lot of stuff really quick. But then when you start getting to, like, the later levels, it takes a good amount of XP to, like, reach level, you know, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then at that point, you really have to hunker down and do a ton of side content, combat encounters, so on and so forth. This game, I think, really emphasizes, like, you know, fight more random enemies because, you know, the more random enemies you fight, the more you can, like, use your heat actions, and the more you use your heat actions, you know, that's when you finally unlock, like, the QTE extensions to your heat actions. Tanimura, you really have to fight a bunch of random enemies because, like, basically, like, Tanimura's, like, every single, like, attack combo he has leads into a heat action, and every single heat action which you do with that, like, combo has like a QTE extension. So, like, you really have to kind of grind those out with Tanimura to, like, make the most of his combat system. But yeah, no, I'm just going to save the game here, and just thank you so much for watching this somewhat inconsistent, Wi-Fi not the best, but, you know, just fun little stream of Yakuza 4 on the original PS3 with these original PS3 saving screens. Yep, and I'll see you all then for the next part, maybe tomorrow, maybe not, who knows. But I will see you all then for the next video. Peace out.